Hello students, I am Reena. Welcome to Math Fam. This is CBSE Grade 10 2025 previous year question paper of 80 marks. This is 30, this one, this is the question paper code. Now whenever you get this paper, you have to read the instruction carefully. So first you have to check what is written here. If you will see, please check that the question paper should have 27 printed pages. So you need to read through it, go through your question paper. If there is any mismatch, you need to tell the invigilator, right? Then right hand side, this is the question paper code. It's given that you need to write down in the answer book. Then you have to check question paper contains all 38 questions, and math paper there will be 38 questions in different sections. Then the serial number of the question paper in the answer booklet you have to write down, right? And then you need to write down roll number here, correct? Now after this, your reading time is 10:15 to 10:30. So please go through it, see that which questions you want to attempt, especially in the internal choice. But you are not allowed to write down anything in the question paper, right? It's only read the question paper only and will not write any answer on the answer book. Right, so first go through all the instruction carefully. Remember, you need to use pi when always 22 by 7 until unless in the question it is mentioned pi is equals to 3.14. Let us start with our first MCQ question here. Whenever there is a MCQ question, you don't need to show the calculation part. You need to write down the question number, what is the right option and what is the answer in that option. So let us start with the first question. It says if alpha and beta are the zeros of the polynomial. So if you see here, it's a quadratic polynomial such that then one equation is given. You need to find out the value of k using this equation. Now this is a quadratic polynomial. You know that alpha and beta are the zeros. So what is the rule here? You should remember alpha plus beta here. Alpha plus beta is always minus b by a, and alpha and beta is c by a, right? So substitute the value here. B is 6. So what is going to be alpha plus beta if I take it here? Minus 6 by 3, which is minus 2, and alpha beta is c by a. So that is going to be k by 3. So right here, and in the equation, if you substitute, what are you going to get it here? If I substitute in that equation, alpha plus beta, which is minus 2, then plus k by 3 is equals to minus 2 by 3, right? You need to be careful with the sign. Don't do any mistake with the sign. And plus 2, get the LCM, it will be minus 2 plus 6 by 3, and your k value is going to be here. You are going to get equation as k by 3 is equals to 4 by 3, and from both the side you can cancel 3 and 3, so your value of k is 4. So what is the right option? You will see option number D is the right option. So in your answer sheet, left side of the margin, please write on question 1, and then right side of the margin you will write on option D and along with the answer. All this part here, if whatever I'm taking, it will go in your rough work column. You don't need to show, because either you will get 0 marks or 1 mark. There's no marks will be awarded for any showing any calculation, right? So quickly do it. You should do all the MCQ part here. Try to finish it in first 30-35 minutes, max 40 minutes. Now again, this page is in Hindi. I'll go to page number 5. That is odd number page. What is there in the question number 2 here? If x is equals to 1, y is equals to 2 is a solution of pair of linear equations. So this is one linear equation, this is another linear equation. You know that when the value of x and y is given means this is nothing but it's going to satisfy both the equations. So if I substitute here x as 1, y as 2, what you are going to get an equation? 2 minus 6 plus a is equals to 0. So here minus 4 plus a is 0, which is a equals to 4. So you got a equals to 4. Now if using the second equation, what are you going to get it here? It will be 2 times 1 is 2 plus 6 minus b is 0. So b value is going to be 8, right? Now here they are not telling you to find out a and b value. They are showing the relationship between a and b, right? So if you'll see here, it's a 4 and 8. That means I can write down b is equals to 2a, right? So if you see that, what is the right option here? 2a equals to b, or option number B is right. Sometime other than this, you can get it the option as 2a minus b is equals to 0, or b minus 2a also equals to 0. These options are also possible. So check what is right and choose the right option. Now this question was based on linear equation. Now let us go for the next question. Midpoint of the line segment joining the points P and Q. Now you know that what is the midpoint formula here? Midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 by 2 comma y1 plus y2 by 2. Try to remember all the formulas so you don't take much time to do the calculation. Minus 4 plus 4 by 2 comma 5 plus 6 by 2. So what is your answer here? Midpoint 0 by 2 is 0 and then 11 by 2. Now if you see the options, they have not given the coordinates. So 0 comma minus 11 by 2 because your x coordinate is 0. So when x coordinate is 0 means it lies on y axis because all the x coordinate abscissa value will be 0 on y axis. So this option number B is your right option, y axis. This point will lie on y axis. So this question was from coordinate geometry. Let us go for the fourth question. What is there here? This is, if you'll see fourth and fifth, they both are from the introduction to trigonometry. What is given here? If theta is an acute angle and 7 plus 4 sine theta is equals to 9, you need to find out the value of theta. So using this equation, you need to get the value of theta. So simplify, take all the constant value to one of the side and sine theta to another side. So what are you going to get it here? Sine theta will be 2 by 4, which is nothing but half. And you know that how much sine is half? It is sine 30. Now if you'll do the comparison from both the side, theta is going to be equals to 30 degrees. So what's your right option? Option number B, 30 degrees is your right option. Correct? Now let us go for the question number 5. Now whenever you see tan square theta and sec theta, you have to remember the identity. What is the identity? Tan square theta minus sec square theta is 1, or sec square theta. What is the identity here? Sec square theta is 1 plus tan square theta, or tan square theta minus sec square theta is 1. So you know that 1 by cos sec reciprocal is here 1 by cos. So you can write on this as tan square theta minus 1 by cos can be written as sec theta times sec theta. Now this is nothing but tan square theta minus sec square theta. So what is going to be the answer here? If you will see tan square theta minus sec square theta, here you remember we have the identity sec square theta minus tan square theta is equals to 1, because here order is changed, so your answer is going to be minus 1. So your option number C is right option, right? Now question number 6, how are we going to do it here? If we need this, it's written HCF is 98, HCF of 98 and 28 is M, LCM of 98 and 28 is N. So how can we do it here? You can first find out the LCM using short division method instead of factorization method, so that it takes less time to do the calculation part, right? So how can we do it here? If I am finding here HCF and LCM of two numbers here, you can take here 98 comma 28. Now what is the common factor here? If I take 2 for both, which can divide both, so 2 4s are 9s are 49, and here 14. Then again you can take here 7, 7 sevens are and 2s are. Now here these two factors, if I take it, that is going to be the HCF, because it's going to be common factor, right? So here these two numbers, you can take it the product of those two numbers as HCF, which is nothing but 14. So 14 HCF was M. This is going to be equals to M, right? You got it. Now how to get the LCM? Now the other two factors 7 and 2. So LCM is going to be common factor, which is 2 and 7, and non-common factor, which is 7 times 2. Now this is nothing but equals to 14 times 14, right? And 14 square is 196. So you can take here 196 as N. Right now, how will you do it here? Because we need to find out this value. You can substitute. N value is 196 minus 7 times M value is here 14. If you do this, you are going to get 196 minus 98, which is nothing but 98. So your option number C is the right option. Let us go for the next question. Next page will be Hindi. You can just skip and go for the odd number page, which is page number 7 for question number 7. What is given here? The tangent drawn at the extremities of the diameter of a circle are always. Now, if you remember one question also you have solved. If I draw a circle, right? This is a circle. This is the center. Now I have to consider the diameter. If I take AB as the diameter, and if I draw the diameter end, I have to draw the tangents. This is one of the tangent, this is another tangent, and you know that tangents drawn at the end of the diameters, extremities of the diameter are always parallel. Why they are going to be parallel? Because tangent is perpendicular to radius. This is also radius. Then co-interior angles are supplementary or alternate interior angles, each of them are 90 degrees. So if that is true, you know that it will be parallel. So your option number for question number 7, option number A is the right option. Now this is from the circle chapter. Let us go for the next question, which is from triangle. It says, in the triangle ABC and DEF, angle B is equals to angle E, angle F is equals to angle C, and from here I know this is nothing but the ratio. So here it is 3 by 1. AB is to D is 3:1. Now, whenever you see the ratio, you know that the sides are not equal. It can't be congruent. But if I draw, because so AB is 3 times, here it is 1. That means the first figure triangle is going to be little bit larger here, right? It's fine because it's a rough figure. You can draw anything, but if you draw it, you will understand it properly. Now, what is given here? Angle B is equals to angle E. So, how will I do marking? Angle B is equals to angle E, right? Then angle F is equals to angle C. So this angle is equals to C is F. So I'll mark here F. So what is the remaining letter here? D. Now using AA similarity, you know that here if I use here AA similarity, these two triangles are going to be similar. So triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF using AA similarity. If you want to check AA similarity also using angle sum property, you know that angle A will be equals to angle D. So they both are similar. Now the ratio here it is 3 and this is 1. I can write on here because I am writing the length 3A and 1A. You can see that the length is not same. So both the figures are going to be similar but not congruent. So your option D is the right option. Let us go for the next question number 9 here. If you see question number 9, it is based on real numbers. What is given here? It says minus 1 to the power n plus minus 1 to the power 8. So first you do simplification of this. You should remember the rule here. Minus 1 to the power even number is always it's a plus 1 because when you multiply even number of times, negative 1 times negative 1 is always positive 1. So whenever you multiply minus 1 even number of times, it's always positive 1. And if I multiply minus 1 odd number times, that is always minus 1. So if I simplify this, what I'm going to get it? Minus 1 to the power n plus 1 is equals to 0. So minus 1 to the power n is equals to minus 1. So my answer should be negative 1. So what should be the power of n here? N is going to be here odd because we have seen here when the power is odd, then only you get minus 1. So what is going to be the your right option here? Any odd number. Your power n can be any odd number to get minus 1, right? After that, question number 10, it is from polynomial. It says two polynomials are shown in the graph below. The number of distinct means different zeros of both the polynomials. Now, if I see that this is called upward parabola, this is called downward parabola. Now, this parabola is cutting x-axis and both the parabolas are cutting at the same place. Those two are going to be the solution or zero of the polynomial. So, any graph, it cuts x-axis at whatever number of places, those many zeros will be there. So, x1 and x2 will be two solutions. So, how many solutions are possible for any of these graphs? This is going to be two solution. Your option number C is the right option. Right? Let us go for the next question. Now let us go for 11th question. What does it say here? 11th question, if you'll see, the sum of first m term of an AP is, right? So what is given here? Sum of m terms, right? So SM is nothing but here 2m square plus 3m, right? Then what do I need to find out? It is 3m. What do I need to find out here? The second term. Now, if you remember the rule here, any nth term, Sn minus Sn minus 1. So, because if you subtract the two consecutive terms, we get here An. So, to get here A2, because the second term is A2, it will be S2 minus S1. This is very important rule. If you remember, it's easy to solve it. If you don't remember also, what you will do here, first you will do here S1. That means you are taking the sum of first term, which will be 2 plus 3, that is 5. Now you know that sum of all the first term means it is going to be A, the first term itself, right? Then if I take S2, then it will be 2 2s are 4 2s are 8 plus 6, which is 14. Now this is nothing but, because it's a second term, sum of first two terms, A1 plus A2 or A plus A2, right? So what is going to be the sum here? How are we going to get here A2? A2 is going to be equals to 14 minus 5, because if I remove the first term from the second term, I can substitute here, it's a 14. So 14 is equals to 5 plus A2. To get the A2, you can do 14 minus 5, which is going to be 9. So what is the right option? If you'll see, option number B is your right option. So this is from your AP, right? Now next question. It says the mean and mode and mean of the data are 15x and 18x respectively, then the median of the data. Now you should always remember the mean median relationship. This is 3 median equals to 2 mean plus 1 mode, right? Or 2 mean plus mode. This is, or most of the time you will see one question coming from this particular formula. Now to get, already 3 median will be equals to mean and mode are given here. So mean is nothing but, what is the mean here? 18x. Don't substitute the wrong value. So 2 times 18x, right, plus mode is given as 15x. So what are you going to get it here? It will be 36x plus 15x, that is nothing but, here it's a 51x. So 51x is your 3 median. I have to get the median. So what I'll do here, I can take here median equals to 51x by 3, which you will get it as 17x. So what is the right option to get the median here? It will be 17x, your option number C. Go for the next question here. So this question was from your statistics. Question number 13 is from probability. What does it say? A card is selected at random from a deck of 52 playing cards. The probability of it being a red face card. Now in a deck of card, you know that there are 4 different suits, which is hearts, diamonds, which are red in color, spades and clubs, it is black in color. So we are just talking about here diamonds, right? And here we are going to talk about hearts. Now how many diamond face cards are there? There are 3 face cards, which is Jack, King and Queen, which is red in color, and here also 3 heart face card, which is, that is also Jack, King and Queen, right? Altogether, how much probability of getting red face card? What is going to be that here? Red face card is going to be equals to 3 plus 3, which is 6, 6 by 52. If you get the simplest form, it is going to be 3 by 26. So what is the right option? If you see, option number D is your right option. So this one was probability. Next question number 14, it's from chapter 1, real numbers. What does it say? What is the rational number, right? So what is the rational number between root 3 and root 5? For this, you know that all the rational numbers are going to be terminating decimal. So if you are recurring decimal, now if you see the first number, it is an irrational because there's no pattern. It's a non-terminating, non-repeating value. Now pi is also always taken as irrational number. Though we take 22 by 7, 3.14, that's approximate value, but it is an irrational number. So your options can be from B or D. How to get it here? Because this is recurring decimal, this is terminating decimal. So for this, it's easy to just take the value, root 3 value, you have to remember it's a 1.732 and root 5 value is 2.236, right? It is approximate value. Now look at here, this option B is greater than root 5. We need to get between root 3 and root 5. So your option D, because 1.8 is going to fall between these two numbers. Option number D is right, which is one terminating decimal, a rational number. Now let us go for the next question. Question number 15 here. Now what does it say? If a sector of a circle has an area of 40 pi square units and central angle is 72 degree, find its radius. Now it's nothing but sector area, right? Here, if I take here, we need to this is the sector area. What is the meaning of area of a sector here? This is the area of sector which is given as pi, right? So first you mark it here. The angle is 72 degree. I need to find out radius. And what is the formula? You know that the area of sector formula here, theta by 360 times pi r square, because it's a part of area of circles, it's a pi r square, is equals to 40 pi. Pi will get cancelled here first, and then substitute here 72 by 30, 360 times r square is equals to 40. You can transpose it, you can do the calculation, or I can do it here. 12 6 are 12, 30s are 6 1s are here, 6 5s are. So r square is 200. So what is going to be the value of r? Root 200. We can't take negative value, which is 10 root 2, because this can be written as 2 times 100. 100 square root is 10. So 10 root 2 with that units is going to be your radius. So what is the right option here? Option number D. This is the area related to circle chapter question. Now question number 16, it is from circle. What does it say here? In the given figure, PA is a tangent from the external point P to the circle with center O. If angle POB, it's given 115 degree, you need to find out APO. What is angle APO? This angle you need to find out. Now you know that if you'll see here, this is looking like a triangle, right? If I can get the two angles of this triangle, I can find out angle APO. So what you will do, this one you can use linear pair, right? So you can do here 180 minus 115, which is going to be 65 degrees, and radius is always, tangent is always perpendicular to the radius, so this is 90 degrees. So how to get here angle APO will be equals to 180 using angle sum of a triangle, 65 plus 90 degree, and here it will be 180 minus 155 degrees, which is going to be equals to 25 degrees. So what is the right option here? Option number A is your right option, right? So this is from circle. Next question is from application of trigonometry. If you'll see what is given here, question number 17. A kite is flying at the height of 150 meter from the ground. It is attached to a string inclined at an angle of 30 degree to the horizontal. Then the length of the string. So first, you know that you have to draw first figure. Any of application of trigonometry, you can't do it without drawing the figure. So it's 150 meter. Then there is one string on the ground here which is attached to the ground. So if I take this as A, this is B, this is C. Now this is the string attached to the kite, right? Kite position is A, this is kite position, and this is C. At C it is tied to the ground, right? Here you know that angle between kite and this height is going to be 90 degree, and this angle is 30 degree. What do I need to find out here? AC length. Now if you see this, with respect to acute angle 30 degree, this is called opposite, and this is hypotenuse, because side opposite to 90 degree is always hypotenuse, right? So which rule I am going to use here? SOHCAHTOA, sine opposite by hypotenuse. So you can take here sine 30 is equals to 150 by AC, which is the length of the string. 1 by 2 is 150 by AC. So AC is going to be equals to 300 meter, right? So what is the option here? Option number B is the right option. Correct. Next one here, question number 17 is done. Let us take question number 18 here. What is given here? A piece of wire 20-meter long is bent into the form of an arc of a circle. So you are taking a wire bent into an arc, means arc will be part of circle. which subtend which is having the radius 60 by pi centimeter. You need to find out the angle subtended by the arc at the center of the circle. Now if I take this as the center of the circle, you take these two of them are radius, right? Now what is this length? Arc length 20 centimeter. This is r, which is given as 60 by pi. Now whenever you take the piece of a circle, it's an arc length, and what is the formula here? Arc length formula, it's theta by 360 into 2 pi r. You have seen one question area related to circle also in this MCQ, right? We need to find out theta is unknown. So let theta be as it is, theta by 360 times 2 times 22 by 7 times r is 60 by pi, which is equals to here, what is the length? Total length 20, right? Now here we need to get pi and pi will get cancelled. So instead of substituting this value, I can leave it as pi, because you see in the denominator there is pi. So pi will get cancelled. 60 ones are, you can do the cancellation here. 6 are, 2 ones are, 2 threes are. So what is your theta? 20 times 3, which is nothing but 60 degree. So what is the right option here? Option number B, 60 degree is the right option. Right? This question is also from area related to circle. Now these are the 18 MCQ questions are done. Let us go for two assertion and reasoning question here. What does it say? The assertion is given as the probability of selecting a number at random from numbers 1 to 20 is 1. Now, if you are having 1 to 20 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 20, then if what is going to be selecting a number, it is going to be probability of selecting a number from 1 to 20 will be 1, because you will definitely choose a number between 1 to 20. So any sure or certain event, probability is always 1, and you know that probability lies between 0 and 1, because you are definitely going to select a number from 1 to 20. So the probability, it's a sure event, and the reason is given. If probability of E is 1 means it's a sure event. So this is going to be the correct explanation, right? So your option number A, which is, what does it say here? Option number A, both assertion and reason are true, and our reason is the correct explanation of the assertion, right? Next one here, if we join two hemisphere of same radius, this is the first question of surface area volume, right? Now if we join two hemisphere of the same radius along with their bases, so if I'm taking here one hemisphere, this is one hemisphere, this is the base, and if I join the other hemisphere here through the base, you are going to get a sphere, right? That's true here. We get a sphere whenever you join two hemisphere. Then what is the total surface area of a sphere? It is always 4 pi r square, but here it's given 3 pi r square. That means this statement is false, this is true. So true, assertion is true as reason is false, means your option number C is the right option. So here you are all 20 marks MCQs done. There we'll go now for 2 marker question. I'll be explaining all the questions by giving you all the required statements, how you are going to solve it, so that you don't lose marks for any writing the proper steps, right? So let us go for 2 marker questions. Now this is your second section, section B, which is having your 5 questions of 2 marker, right? So if you will see question number 21, which is based on trigonometry, there is one internal choice, and one question there is a triangle, there is another internal choice. So 1, 2, 3, 21, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and again 25th, which is based on circle, are 2 marker question. So let us start solving it. I'll be giving you all the steps. How are you going to write on in your exam? So make sure you are writing steps properly. So if there is any mistake in the final answer, at least you should get marks for the writing steps. So let us take the first question here. What is given here in the first question, 21st? So first we'll take both the orbit also questions. So let us start with, so you'll be writing there question number 21 here. If you are attempting A, then you must write on in your answer sheet A. Don't forget to mention that which option you are taking. Now what is written if x cos 60? So first you will write on whatever is given, right, in your answer sheet also. Don't directly start solving. So this is given in the equation form. So make sure you are writing in your answer sheet also this. Sine 30 degree minus cot 45 degrees is equals to 5. We need to simplify this equation to get the value of x. So start substituting value here. What is cos 60 here? X times 1 by 2, because cos 60 is 1 by 2, plus cos 0 is 1, so y, right, plus sine 30 is half, then minus cot 45 or tan 45, they both are 1, is equals to 5. So what is your equation here? So x and y both, right? So we need to get here x plus y. You can't get the value of x. If there is one equation, we have to, we need to get only, we can get only one variable. Here there are two variables, so you'll get the equation, the relationship between x and y, right? So it is x by 2 plus y, then half minus half, if you'll take it, it is minus 1 by 2. These two terms is equals to 5. So how are we going to get it here? If I take the common denominator here, find out LCM, x plus 2y minus 1 by 2 is equals to 5. And if I do the further simplification, what I am going to get it here? X plus 2y minus 1 is equals to 10, because 2 will get multiplied here, then x plus 2y is equals to 11. So this is your final answer, because they are asking this, so you can write down here, therefore x plus 2y is equals to 11. Now here if I take here orbit also, how are we going to do here orbit? So again you will write down here question number 21 part B. What is written? Evaluate. Evaluate means you need to get the value of that. Tan square 60 by here sine square 60 plus cos square 30, right? So what is tan 60? You know, root 3, because it's a tan square 60 can be written as tan 60 whole square. So what can we write down here? Root 3 whole square by sine 60 is root 3 by 2. So root 3 by 2 whole square plus cos 30 is root 3 by 2, that is whole square. Make sure you don't do any mistake while solving, simplifying this. So what is going to be your value here? If you'll take 3 by 3 by 4, because you have to do squaring of numerator, squaring of denominator also. This square plus this square, both the squares you need to take it. So it will be 3 by 4 plus 3 by 4, which is nothing but 3 by 6 by 4, where if you take the reciprocal, 3 times 4 by 6, which is 12 by 6, that is equals to 2. So what is the final answer here? Therefore, answer whatever the value is given is equals to 2, right? So this is your final answer you need to mention. So any one bit you have to do it. I have done both, so this is the way you are writing. Right now, next one here, this is another question based on here polynomial. How are we going to take it here? Next question, it says that find the zeros of the polynomial of this. Now, how do we get zeros here? If you will see here, this is nothing but this is a quadratic polynomial. So, how will you start writing? First, write down question number 22 and whatever the polynomial it's given here, it's x squared plus 4 by 3x minus here 4 by 3. So what is the first thing you can do it here? I can get the common denominator. So here this is by 1. So we can write down here 3x squared plus 4x minus 4 by 3, which is nothing but this is k value, right? If you remember your what was the standard form here? K, this is x squared, ax squared plus bx plus c. So your k value is here 1 by 3, not 1 by 2. This is 1 by 3. Then here you are getting 3x squared plus 4x minus 4, right? How are we going to do it here now? After this, what is going to be your alpha? So you will write down here, let alpha and beta are the two zeros, right? So if there are two zeros, how are you going to take it here? Zeros, either you do this, because I don't need to find out the relationship here. If let alpha and beta be two zeros, right? So how will you do it here? You can follow the factorization. If you need to find out relationship between zero, you will take alpha plus beta, alpha into beta here, because they are asking you to find out the zeros here. So what you can do here, factorization. So px will be equals to 1 by 3 as it is. Now if you will see what is going to be your product here, product is going to be 3 times minus 4, which is minus 12. Now list the factors of 12. So 2 times 6, 3 times 4, 4 times 3 is repetition. And what should be the sum here? 4. So which combination you are going to take it here? Plus 6 minus 2. This is nothing but splitting the middle term method, right? So if I write down here 3x square plus 6x minus 2x minus 4. Now do the factorization here. 1 by 3, then this is you need to do grouping after this. 3x is the common factor, x plus 2 minus 2x plus 2, right? And then you are writing here px is equals to 1 by 3, then here 3x minus 2, and then here x plus 2. This is the factorized form. After that, how do we get the zeros here? You need to equate each one with the zeros, because to find out the zeros here, what I need to do it here, px is equals to 0. So to get the 0 here, you take px is equals to 0. So 1 by 3 equals to 0 means it is going to be 0 times 3, right? X plus 2. You can start writing with this 1 by 3 also. But this will become 0 because this whole value is 0. So therefore, to get 0, 3x minus 2 is equals to 0, and x plus or x plus 2 is 0. Because the product is 0, so either one value will be 0. So therefore, x is 2 by 3 and x is minus 2. So therefore, you can take the zeros as alpha, because I have taken alpha and beta. Otherwise, you can write down this. This won't be or, okay? You need to write down here the two zeros are going to be, when you're writing this, here the word or you will use. And alpha equals to 2 by 3. Your beta, because that's the another 0, it can be written as minus 2. So therefore, what are the zeros in this question here? You can write down in words also. Zeros are here 2 by 3 and minus 2, right? Now let us go for the next question, which is coordinate geometry based question here. So this is question number 23rd. What does it say? The coordinates of the circle of a center of a circle is 2a comma a minus 1. So what are the coordinates of the center of a circle here? Let us draw a rough figure here. If I take the rough figure, this I take it as O, which is center, and the coordinates are given 2a comma a minus 7. Now they'll find the value of a if the circle passes through this point. That means there is a point on the circle. If I take it as a, which is 11 minus 9, and circle is passing through this, and you know that from the center to the circle is going to be always radius, right? So, and the diameter is given. So what is the given here? First you write down the given here. In a circle with center O, with center O, you can write on the coordinates of O to a comma a minus 7, and a is 11 comma minus 9. What else is given here? The diameter here, diameter is equals to 10 root 2 units. So what is going to be the radius? Because if you see here, OA is the radius. So we can find out here, radius is nothing but diameter by 2. So diameter by 2, this radius is OA, right? Which is 10 root 2 by 2, which is going to be 5 root 2 units. Don't write on centimeter, meter, we will just write on units. Now you know that O to A distance is known, right? So can I use here distance formula? What do we have? Distance formula, always mention the formula, then start solving it, right? So distance formula, you know that it is root x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. You can take it as x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square also, because it's a whole square, so changing the order does not matter. So what is the distance between OA? Here it's 5 root 2. Now substitute the value to both the sides, okay? Now here what can I write down here? What is your x2? If I take here x2 as 2a, right? I want to put the variable term first. So 2a minus 11 whole square plus a minus 7 plus 9, because negative of negative here, it will become positive. You can write down as minus of minus 9, and in the next step also you can take it as positive 9, right? Well, if I'm again writing this side to LHS here, it's 2a minus 11 whole square plus, now if you open this bracket, minus 7 plus 9, which is going to be a plus 2 whole square equals to 5 root 2. Now you know that you can't solve it if there is a root, so you can write down here squaring both sides. So to get rid of the square root, right? So what will happen to the LHS term here? If I take this, it will be 2a minus 11 whole square plus a plus 2 whole square equals to 5 root 2 whole square, right? Because this root 2 root will get cancelled. Now use here which identity you are going to use here. A plus b whole square is equals to a square plus 2ab plus b square, whatever you are using, keep writing it. So a square will become 4a square plus 11 square is 121 minus here 2244a plus, because there is a plus sign, you can directly open the bracket, a square plus 4. I am writing a square plus b square plus 2ab, so which is 4a equals to here 50. Now take the like terms, 5a square plus a square will 4a square plus a square will become 5a square, then minus 44a plus 4a will become minus 40a, and then when you will take the 121 plus 4, it will become plus 125, and then here minus 50 is equals to 0, because you see that this is nothing but a quadratic equation. So I am trying to get the simplest form of the quadratic equation here, right? So how do we do here after this? It will be 5a square minus 40a. Now 125 minus 50, it will become plus 75 is 0. 5 is a common factor, take it common, and then you can write down 8a plus 1 za 15 za is equals to 0. Now 5 will go to the right side, it will become here 0. So what is the simplest form of your quadratic equation? This is the simplest form of the quadratic equation. Now after that, if I want to simplify this equation, I can use splitting the middle term method. See, any kind of these kind of questions, you will see you'll be able to factorize. Otherwise, you'll use quadratic formula. So what is the sum and product? Sum of two factors should be minus 8, right? And the product should be 15. So what are the two factors? You will get it here. First 1 times 15, then 3 times 5. So we'll take here 3 and 5, right? So minus 3 and minus 5. The product is positive 15, sum is minus 8. So a square minus 5a minus 3a plus 15. You can cross check also. You must get 8 minus 8a and 15 when you're doing this. So do the grouping after this. So a is common, a minus 5 minus 3 is common, a minus 5 is 0. So what is the factorized form? A times a minus 5 times a minus 3 is 0. So therefore, what are the two solutions? A equals to 3 or 5. Therefore, values of a, what are going to be the values of a here? You can write down 5 or 3 are 5, 3 or 5 or 5 or 3. So here this question ends. Let us go for the next question. Now here this is next 2 marker question. Question number 24. It says if triangle ABC and PQR in which AB is 6 centimeter, BC all the three lengths are given, then you need to find out the length of PQ and PR, right? So how are we going to do it here? Whenever you solve, so first we'll take A bit, then we'll go for the B bit. So first, whenever you are having any question, first you have to draw the figure here. So if I take this, how I'm going to draw the figure here? If I'm taking one triangle ABC, it's already given they are similar, right? We need to find out the length here. So take here first, if I'm taking this one of the triangle which is given as here, what is given here? ABC. So here if I write down here ABC, see all these figures are not to scale, so it's fine if you are drawing just the rough figure 4 centimeter and AC is here 8 centimeter. Then PR is given as 6 centimeter. So PR, if you will see here, PR is reciprocate here to AC, so it has to be smaller than this, because you know that the corresponding side of AC is PR, right? So P to A to P, right? And B to Q and C to R, right? So what is the correspondence it's given if here if you see, because they are similar, the corresponding angles also will be equal. So you can write down, because again correspondence is very important in whichever, whether you take congruency or you take here similarity. Now what is given here, first write down here, given triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR, right? And what else is given here? AB is 6 centimeter, BC is 4 centimeter, and AC is 8 centimeter, that you have already mentioned in the figure. And PR is given here 6 centimeter. So PR is also given in 6 centimeter. What to find after this? If I need to write down here, to find, it is PQ plus QR. That means I should have those two lengths. Now, whenever you start here, whenever you will start, what is given here? Solution, if you are finding here, you will start here. Since triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR, and in similar triangles corresponding sides are in equal ratio. So AB by PQ equals to AC by PR is equals to BC by QR, right? And what you will write down here? Corresponding sides. This reason, this is the most half mark will be given for this, okay? Corresponding sides of similar triangles. Triangles are proportional, are proportional, or are in equal ratio, right? Now substitute the values here. What is given here? AB is given as 6, so 6 by PQ is unknown. I'll write on here PQ, then equals to AC is 8, PR is 6, which is equals to BC is 4, and QR is unknown. Now the moment you have one ratio known, correct, you can do the comparison of these two, and then in next step these two to get the value of PQ and QR, right? So here if I do the simplification here, what are you going to get it here? 6 by PQ will be equals to 4 by 3. That means 4 PQ is equals to 18, right? So PQ will be 18 by 4, 2 2s are 9s are, so it is coming as 4.5 centimeter. Now similarly here, if you do the comparison of next two ratios, 4 by 3 is equals to 4 by QR, right? You can do cross multiplication, which is 12. So QR is going to be equals to 3 centimeter. Now you got the both the values. So therefore PQ plus QR will be equals to 4.5 plus 3, which is nothing but 7.5 centimeter. So you got the final answer as 7.5 centimeter. That's your answer. Now let us go for the next orbit question here. This is your orbit, if you'll see, right? So this is your textbook question. This is, you need to prove that the triangles are similar in this question. How are you going to take it here? This is, you write down, this is question number 24B, right? So you must mention here question number 24B. Now, if the figure is given in exam paper also, you need to make sure you draw the rough figure for the reference in the answer sheet as well, right? So this is must to draw the rough figure. Now here if I take it, what is given here? TR. So the big triangle, you can take it as T. This is R, this is Q, right? Now take one point here, P, and here one point S. Now try to join P to R, right? So try to draw neat figure. You can draw the rough neat figure, or you can scale to draw the neat figure, right? What else is given here? What is given here? First given in the figure, you can start with in the figure, because there's not only one triangle, there are some overlapping triangle also. You can write down QR by QS is equals to QT by PR, and here angle 1 is equals to angle 2. So what is your angle 1 here? Angle 1 is equals to here angle 2, that is given. Now to prove here, to show, that means what to prove? To prove, it's given triangle PQS is similar to triangle TQR. So what is here? First you see that PQS, this is your PQS triangle, and TQR is the big this triangle, right? Now, how are we going to do it here? You know that whenever we need to prove any similarity question, what are the similarity criteria? SAS, SSS, AA or AAA similarity. Now, already the ratios are given equal here, right? So, how are we going to do it here? Proof part, if I will start in this, you can start with in triangle PQR, it's given angle 1 is equals to angle 2. The moment it's given angle 1 is equals to angle 2 means, can I write down here PQ will be equals to PR? Because what is the reason here? Why PQ will be equals to PR? Since sides opposite two equal angles are equal, right? Side opposite in a triangle, sides opposite to equal angles are equal. Angles are equal. Done. This is my first part. Now, what is given here? If I need to prove it here, both the triangles QR by QS. Now, look at here. What is given here? If I need to prove it, if you both the triangles, if you will see your what is common here, if you see here, what is common, if I see, one second here, if I see this angle 1 is common in both the triangle, right? Angle 1 is the common angle, so one of the angle is common. Then after that QR by QS. Now look at here, this QR by QS, one of the ratio is equals to QT by, it should be QP, but here instead of QP they have given PR, but we got it as QP or PQ is equals to PR, right? So we are going to use here this. Now which two triangles you need to prove similar? You will take that those two triangles in triangle PQS and triangle TQR, because it here, right? This is the figure. So how are we going to use this figure here? If I take this figure, it's written in those two. What is given here? I can start with here angle 1 is equals to angle 1. It is the common angle, right? It is the common angle. Now, SAS, you know that from 1, because what is given here, start, continue here, it's equals to PR, and because since QP is equals to PR from 1, so you can write down here since PR is equals to PQ or PQP, right? Or you can write down as QP from 1. Then you can substitute as QR by QS is equals to QT by QP. Now we already got it here. If you see the ratio, QT by QP is equals to QR by QS, and angle 1 is common. So using SAS similarity, we can say that both the triangles are similar. You need to compulsory mention the similarity criteria, or write down here using SAS similarity triangle PQS is similar to triangle TQR, right? Here, hence proved TQR. That was there. There were no length to find out unknown, so this is done, hence proved. So this is the way one by one you have to write down all the steps. Draw the neat figure. Now next, this is your next 2-marker question here, which is from the circle. What does it say? A person is standing here outside a circular ground at a distance of 26 meter from the center of the ground. So the first draw, let us draw the rough figure so that we can refer the rough figure here. What is given here? A person is standing at P. So take a circle here. This is a circular ground. If I take here, this is center O. P, this is point P. This again you have to redraw the rough figure in the answer sheet. Now the distance between OP here, right? That is 26 meter. Now there are the two tangents also, right? He found that the distance from point P and A on the ground are 10 meter. P and P are the two tangents, right? And you know that the tangents are equal in length. So there you are having those two lengths as are equal, right? 10 meter. That is also already given value. So PA and PB, these are the two tangents, right? And distance from O to P, if you will take it, this is 26 meter, right? This is your 10 meter, this is also 10 meter, right? You can join O to A. You know that the tangent is always perpendicular to the radius. So here we need to mention that. You can mark here 90-degree angle, but the reason you need to mention. What do we need to find out here? You need to find out OA, which is radius. So let us start with what is given first. So given here is in the circle with center O. So what is given here? OP is the distance from the center. See, it's written P is outside the circular distance of 26 meter from the center of the ground. So OP is 26 meter. Then PA is equals to PB is equals to 10 meter. Correct? What to find here? If you want to find out here radius of the circle, and if you know that the radius is nothing but OA or OB, they both are radius, correct? So here this is solution. Now remember, whenever you have circle, most of the time, because you get a right triangle, you are going to use Pythagoras theorem to solve it, right? So how are we going to do it here first? But how to get this? I have already written here 90-degree, but you need to mention that why is it 90-degree. So you write down here OA is perpendicular on PA, right? Any one is also fine, correct? Why is it perpendicular on PA? Because here tangent is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact, right? Through point of contact. So this writing this statement will carry half mark. So you can write down here, that is why angle OAP is going to be 90-degree. Now you can see that this triangle is a right triangle, right? So right triangle means I can use here Pythagoras theorem to find out the length of radius. So OAP, you can, what is the, acha, one more here thing you have to always remember, the side opposite to 90-degree is going to be hypotenuse. Do not take here, most of the students they do mistake, they take PA as a hypotenuse and they go wrong. So how are you going to write down here using Pythagoras theorem? OP square will be equals to OA square plus AP square. And you must mention here, I am using here Pythagoras theorem because it is a right triangle, right? So this is Pythagoras theorem. Now substitute the value. OP is here, OA is we don't know, so OA square as it is plus AP is given as 10 square. Then here equals to 26 square. I just swapped the sides because OA is unknown, so I kept it to the left hand side. So OA square plus 100. Please remember all the squares till 25, but 29 and these two also do the quick. If you can remember till 29, it's better. 676 and OA square will be equals to 676 minus 100. So OA square is nothing but 576, right? So if I'm taking here 576 square, you are going to get it as it is 24, because 576 is the, what is square root of 576? It's a square of 24, so 24 centimeter. So you got radius as 24 centimeter using Pythagoras theorem. It's a meter, not centimeter. So make sure there's no mistake in the unit. So it is, the answer is 24 meter. So what was the question? What is the radius? So you will write down answer also as, therefore the radius of the radius of the circular ground is 24 meter, right? This is here your 2 mark questions are done. So this is your again next section, 3 marker questions here. What is question number 26? It says there are again internal choice, so we'll be doing both one by one. So let us start with question number 26. It says that in the given figure, O is the center of the circle and D is a tangent. You can see in the figure, prove that angle BAC. So you need to prove that this angle plus ACD angle is equals to 90 degrees. So how will we do it? Again, you should know whenever you are using any of these kind of circle questions, then you need to remember both the tangent formula, right? So here if I'll start with first, let us start with question number 26. It's A bit. First thing, you will draw the rough figure. So you will draw a circle. It's a rough figure, so not to scale. Now this is the center O, right? Now here if I take it first, draw the tangent, correct? So you can draw after that first here tangent, right, which is touching circle at C, and this is the passing through center. If I take this is B, this is O is the center, this point is A, and wherever it's touching circle, it is P. Then OC is perpendicular to the tangent here, right? So this point is C, correct? Then after that here, you can write down here point D. Then join A to C also, and the angle between here A and C here, this angle is given. Now what is given here? Write down in the given part here, in a circle with center O. What is given here? BCD is a tangent. So BCD is a tangent with the point of contact C, right? You can write down that extra mention. You can mention here with point of contact C, right? Now after that, what do we need to prove here? To prove here, under this you need to write down. I'm just writing on the sidewise. Please avoid writing anything sidewise. What to prove here? Angle BAC plus angle ACD is equals to 90 degree. How will we start proving here? There is no extra construction required here. Now you will always start, because you know that the 90 degree, it's OCD. If you see that this angle is 90 degree and OCD part is angle ACD, right? So how can we start it here? OC is perpendicular on CD. What is the reason here? Tangent is perpendicular to the radius. Please make sure you are writing all the required statements. Perpendicular to the radius through point of contact. Through point of contact, right? So here point of contact. That is why this angle OCD is going to be 90 degree. Now if I need to use this figure, let me take this. I have to refer this figure, so I can take it here, and I can take this figure, right? So here, how are we going to do it after this? Now, so angle OCD will be equals to 90 degree. Now, I need part of angle OCD, which is angle ACD. So how can I continue here? OCD is angle OCA plus sum of angle ACD. Now, I already got here ACD. I just need to get angle BAC, right? So this is equals to 90 degree. OCA, right? So now OCA is nothing but angle OAC, because this is, if you will see, isosceles triangle, right? So how can you write down here? In triangle OAC, OA is equals to OC because it's a radii of same circle, right? Since, okay, so sin symbol must be there. So you can write down here angle OCA is equals to angle OAC. What is the reason here? You will write down here isosceles triangle, because angles opposite to equal sides are equal. Angles opposite to equal sides are equal. While doing practice, make sure you're writing all the steps so that you don't lose marks. Sides are equal. Correct. So here, if I take it here, if I label this as 1, this as 2, so from 1 and 2, I can substitute here. From 2, I can substitute in 1 angle OCA, I can write down angle OAC plus angle ACD is equals to 90 degree. Now we did not want OAC, we wanted here BAC. Now if you will see OAC, this is angle OAC, can be written as OAC also, because the angle rotation is same, only the vertex, because AO extension is still B, so that is why it represents the same angle. So or you can write down here angle BAC here, angle BAC plus angle ACD is equals to 90 degree. This one was only required to prove, so we reached to our result, we can write on hence proved, right? So hence proved. Now whenever they are here giving you the marks, how the marks are going to be allotted, if you will see, the marks will be allotted by writing isosceles triangle property here. When you are writing this part, if you see, 1 mark will be given here, right, for isosceles triangle property. Then tangent property, when you are writing here, where is the tangent property here? This one again will carry here 1 mark, and then substituting here and solving, getting that angle as 90 degree, it will carry half mark, right? Because the 2 marks will be here, this can be taken here half mark. This part again you are writing this, all this, finding this, it's going to be 1 mark. So that's why you have to write on all the steps. Let us go for the next question. There was one orbit also, if you will see here. Let us go for that orbit for question number 26b, right? Let us continue with next here, orbit part. What is given here? Orbit. This is your textbook question. What does it say? Prove that opposite sides of a quadrilateral circumscribing a circle subtend supplementary angle at the center. So here figure is not given, so half mark will be there for drawing figure. Circle circumscribing in a quadrilateral means it should touch the circle, right? So these two sides, first you can draw the circle and then you can draw the sides, so that will be easy, right? Yeah, this is there, and here this is another tangent. So now if I take here A, B, C, D is a quadrilateral, and this is center of the circle circumscribing here. So what is given here? Prove that given part is a quadrilateral. So you will start with a quadrilateral ABCD circumscribing a circle with center O, with center O, right? Now what are the tangents here? You can write on AB, BC, CD and ADR tangents, or you can write down this thing in the proven proof part also. Now what to prove here? We need to prove that angle subtended by opposite side to the center. So what are the opposite side? AB and CD. So I can do it here, you can take here, or I can draw this as a line and later on we'll take the dotted line. So this is the angle subtended by the opposite side to the center. Right here, if I take this is the opposite angle to the center. Similarly, O to D if I take it here, and O to C if I take it, right here. So this sum, this and this angle sum, angle AOB plus angle COD. Supplementary means sum is 180 degree. And similarly, angle AOD plus angle BOC is the another pair of supplementary angle. We need to prove this. How do we do it here? Construction, extra construction is required here. What is that construction? Because all these things we are going to prove it here using the angle. So we'll use the congruency, because you know that tangent is perpendicular to the radius. So the point of contact, if I write down as P, Q, R, S, these are the point of contact of tangent to the circle. So just join here. You can join OP, OQ, OR and OS. right? Because there is one property here. This is perpendicular, right? So you will write down under construction join OP, OQ, OR and OS, right? Now you can see that it is divided the central angle which is around A into 8 angles. So this is mark here angle 1, 2, 3, 4, here 5, this is 6, this is 7 and 8. Now what are we going to take it here? You will take any two adjacent triangles which you need to prove congruent, because I will be using sum of all angle is 360 degree and then we will get it as 180. I have to take the sum of all 8 angles is 360 degree, and if I can prove that 2 plus 3 is equals to 7 plus 6, then we can get this is supplementary. Now here you have done the join part, right? Drawing the correct figure will carry half mark, and after that if I take it here, uh, triangles congruency also it's going to carry 1.5 mark, and then you will have using the angle property, that angle sum property at one around one angle will again carry 1.5 mark. So congruency will carry 1 mark and finding angle will carry again 1.5 marks. So altogether 3 marks. Drawing figure it will carry half mark. So take here again as proof. What we will take first here? What are we going to take it here? What did we do here? First, we need to mention why it is 90 degree. So you will write down here, OP is perpendicular on AB, then OQ is perpendicular on BC. That means OR is perpendicular on CD and OS is perpendicular on AD, to show that this is 90-degree angle, right? This is 90-degree angle. What is the reason here? You can take here tangents are perpendicular to the radius through point of contact, right? So write down this, then what you are going to take it here in triangle, because you need to prove here congruency in triangle OAP and triangle OAS. Now if you will see this, right, if I can take this side is equals to this side, because radii of same circle, then there is right angle triangle and OA is the common side, right? OA is going to be the common side which is hypotenuse, side opposite to 90 degree. So using RHS we can prove it congruent. So first take right angle, you have taken OAP, so angle OPA will be equals to angle OSA. Now you have already written here 90 degree. If you have not written there, then you will write on OP is perpendicular to this and this theorem. Here also you can write on. Here you can write on now, because I have mentioned the theorem, I can write on each 90 degree, right? After that, hypotenuse, we have to take it here. OA is equals to OA, which is common hypotenuse. So you can write on here common side. Then side which are equal, OP is equals to OS, because it's a radii of same circle, right? After that, you can write down here using RHS congruency here. I can take this figure down right here. If I take this, let me take everything here. Okay, let us take first write down here triangle OAP is congruent to triangle OAS using RHS congruency. OAS, right? Now why did we take it here? Because now using CPCT, you can say that angle 1 is equals to angle 2, because corresponding angles of congruent triangles are equal, right? So how can we take it here? Angle 1 is equals to angle 2, because see, if you'll see here, angle O angle AOP will be equals to angle AOS, which is nothing but equals to angle 1 equals to angle 2 by CPCT. right? So this is your number 1. Similarly, what you will write down here, we don't need to prove similarity. If you take the other set of triangles here, other pair of triangles, here 3 will be equals to 4. Now if you take these two triangles, then it will be 7 will be equals to 8. If you take these two triangles, then 5 will be equals to 6. So you can just write down here, similarly angle 3 will be equals to angle 4, number 2, then angle 5 will be equals to angle 6, number 3, and then angle 6 will be equals to angle 6 is done, so it's angle 7 is going to be equals to angle 8, which is number 4. Now, how will you relate it to angles? Sum of all angles at the center is going to be 360 degrees. So you'll write down angle 1 plus 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 4 plus angle 5 plus angle 6 plus angle 7 plus angle 8 is equals to 360 degree because it's an angle at a point. Angles around a point is equals to always 360 degree, right? Now from 1 2 3 4, what can I write on here? I need here opposite angles sum up to 180 degree supplementary. So what can I do here? 1 and 2 I'll write on 2 times angle 2 plus 3 and 4, because see I need next to 2 which is 3, right? If you want to take it, you can refer this also here. Then I'll write on here 2 times angle 3 because I need these opposite angles, right? This angle plus this angle should be 180 degree, plus then I'll need angle 6. So 5 and 6 I'll write down as 2 times angle 6. And 7 and 8 I need angle 7. So I'll write down like this is equals to 360 degree. Now if you do further simplification, 2 is common. Angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 6 plus angle 7 is 360 degrees. So therefore angle 2 plus 3 is nothing but angle AOB, right? And angle 6 plus 7 is nothing but angle COD, which is equals to 360 by 2, which is 180 degrees. So you reach to your result, right? So therefore, angle AOB plus angle COD is equals to 180 degree. Now you can again use the word here similarly, because there is another pair of opposite angle to the center. What are those angles? Angle AOD plus angle BOC, it is equals to 180 degree. So you have proved both the result here, then you can write on hence proved. Right? So this is your again textbook question. Please do all the circles textbook question thoroughly. Most of the questions, geometry question will be from the textbook. Now the next question, it is, what is the next question here? If you will see, the next question is based on trigonometry identity proof, right? Just let me show you here. What is that? 26th is done, then again 27th here. Again, there is internal choice of trigonometric identity proof based question here. See, this is the question. Now, any one you can do it here, but we are discussing the paper, so I'm doing both. When you do it, then if you have time, you can do it. But it's better you do error-free work and do it whatever is given, right? So here let us take the first question, 27th first question, how we will do it here. 27th part A, right? What is given here? First you always write down whatever is given. Tan theta by 1 minus cot theta plus cot theta by 1 minus tan theta is equals to 1 plus sec theta and then cosec theta. Now if you will see here, if there is a tan, there is a cot, there is sec, cosec, everything is there, right? So you know that you can't use any of one identity, because tan and cosec together you can't use it. So what I'll do here, I'll take one of the side and I'll convert everything into sine and cos. So take here left hand side, we start from left hand side, we reach to right hand side. So what is there in left hand side? Tan theta by 1 minus cot theta plus cot theta by 1 minus tan theta. Now you know that tan theta is nothing but sine theta by cos theta. So can I write down here sine theta by cos theta by 1 minus cos theta by, because cot theta is sine reciprocal of tan, so sine theta, right? Here plus this one will become cos theta by sin theta by, here the brackets are not required. If you want, you can leave it also. If you want to use, you use it, otherwise it's not required. Correct? Now denominator is 1 minus sine theta by cos theta. Now you know that you can't reciprocate the denominator because there's no common denominator of the denominator. So I'll first find out the LCM. So numerator remains as it is, sine theta by cos theta. By, if I do this, it will be cross multiplication. Can I write down as sine theta minus cos theta by sine theta? Now you can put the bracket to see the proper numerator and denominator of this fraction. Then here again, this is cos theta by sine theta, and get the LCM. You can do cross multiplication. It is cos theta minus sine theta by cos theta. Now you know this, you can reciprocate numerator and you can to get the numerator and denominator, you can reciprocate the denominator. So it will be sine theta by cos theta times here sine theta by, because this one will go to the numerator, sine theta by sine theta minus cos theta, right here, plus cos theta by sine theta, and if you reciprocate the denominator, this is cos theta by cos theta minus sine theta. This you need to put it in the bracket because there are two terms. After this, if you multiply these two, will it become sine square theta by cos theta times sine theta minus cos theta, right? Plus cos square theta by sine theta times cos theta minus sine theta. Correct? Now, still we are not able to do it. So again, to get the common denominator, if you see, I can multiply here both the terms to get sine theta by cos theta. Sine theta you can multiply here by sine theta to get sine theta cos theta into denominator, and here you can multiply by cos theta by cos theta. But if you see, the order of this is not same. So what can I do here? I can change the order by putting here minus sign outside. So it will become here sine square theta. First, I'm not multiplying, I'm just writing in the same order. So it will become sine theta minus cos theta. And from here, if I take minus sign outside, it will be sine theta minus cos theta. I'm not changing the actual sign. And these plus and minus will become negative. So now minus cos square theta by sine theta as it is, and I can change the order now. So cos theta minus sine theta will become now sine theta minus cos theta. Here only you need to be careful. Now what will be the common denominator? Now you can to get the common denominator, I can multiply this with this, and I can multiply with this in numerator and denominator. So it will become here, what is going to be the common denominator if I take here? It will become here, common denominator will be sine theta cos theta times sine theta minus cos theta. That's why you multiply here sine theta by sine theta to get the common denominator, and here cos theta by cos theta. Same step. So it will become a cube minus b cube identity. You have done this kind of question in your exercise also, where you have used this identity. Now, what is the a cube minus b cube identity? Identity you should not forget, otherwise it will become, it's a minus b, so it has to be a minus b first, right? So here it is a cube minus b cube is a minus b times a square plus b square plus ab. This identity is very important, a cube plus b cube or a cube minus b cube. So the numerator, do not open the denominator. Okay, you don't simplify the denominator, let it be in this factorized form. Only the numerator you will expand using this identity. So it will become here sine theta minus cos theta, and then another bracket, a square will be sine square theta, b square will be cos square theta plus sine theta cos theta, right? Now by here denominator, what is the denominator? Sine theta cos theta, sine theta cos theta times, now the numerator and denominator, they both are in the factorized form. So what I can do here after this, I can cancel the common factor, which is this and this, right? Other than that, if you will see, sine square theta plus cos square theta will be 1. So in the next step, I'll use this identity. What is that identity? The first identity, sine square theta plus cos square theta is 1, correct? So how are we going to do it after that? There will be always one 3-marker question from this chapter. So it will be 1 plus sine theta cos theta by sine theta cos theta. You see this as a simplest form. So this can be your result. But what do they need here? If you see the right hand side, you need 1 plus sec theta cosec theta. So there's no denominator. So here also what I can do here, I can separate the denominator sine theta cos theta plus, because you can see that some same terms, numerator and denominator, in the second term it's the same, right? So here now if you see, this gets cancelled 1, and here 1 by sine theta will be cosec theta, 1 by cos theta will be sec theta. So you can write down here sec theta cosec theta plus 1, which is nothing but 1 plus sec theta cosec theta, right? Which is RHS. Therefore, left hand side is equals to right hand side. Here, if you want, you can write down 1 by sine theta is cosec theta, and here 1 by cos theta is the reciprocal of sec. So this also reason, hence proved, right? So try to keep doing practice of these kind of question. If you are not able to do it, just convert everything into sine and cos. If there is a tan and sec together, you will use the identity. If there is cot and cosec together, you will use the other identity. Now let us go for the B bit also, because 27th B bit also proving part, it's internal choice. So let us see here, how are we going to do it here? Start with left hand side here. So first write down whatever is given. Start with LHS, which is nothing but sine A plus cos A. Because there are two terms, please use bracket. By sine A, because it's a binomial term, I'll put bracket, right? Plus sine A minus cos A. So whenever you see sine and cos, remember the identity, sine square A plus cos square A is always equals to 1. This is sine A plus cos A, right? Now, if you will see, first thing I have to get the common denominator. So what can I do here? I can do here cross multiplication to get the numerators, and for the denominator it will be product of denominators. So if you see that, if you see this and this, it's the same, so I can write down as whole square. So sine A plus cos A whole square, plus if you see this and this also, it's the same, so it will be sine A minus cos A whole square, right? And denominator will be product of denominators, which is this, and sine A plus cos A, right? This is my first step. Now after this, what I'm going to use here, the identity A plus B and A minus B whole square. So write down the identity here. This also you will write down whatever identity you are using, whether algebraic or trigonometric identity, you need to mention. Now for the denominator also, I'll be using A plus B times A minus B is A square minus B square. We are using all these first three identities. So expand the numerator. It's a sine square A, and in the middle, if you'll see, there is a plus sign, no minus sign. So I can directly open the bracket also. If there is a minus sign, you need to use bracket. Okay, and then the next step, you'll open the bracket. Plus cos square A plus 2 sine A cos A. Done. My first bracket open. Now because there is a plus sign, I can directly open the bracket. Remember this, okay? Otherwise we'll go wrong again with the sign. Minus 2 sine A cos A. This is numerator done, and the denominator will become, here if you take the denominator, it will become sine square A minus cos square A. Now if you will see this expansion of the numerator, if I see, what can I take here? Sine square A plus cos square A is 1, right? Then here also sine square A plus cos square is 1, and plus 2 sine A minus sine A cos A will get cancelled. And here you can write down 1 plus 1 by sine square A minus cos square A. What happened here? I have used one identity, trigonometric identity, sine square theta plus cos square theta is equals to 1. So what is my value here? 2 by sine square A minus cos square A. Now look at your right hand side. There is no cos term in the denominator if you see here. Can you see any denominator? Cos? No. So I have to, in place of cos, I have to substitute sine from the same identity. What will be here? Cos square theta 1 minus sine square theta, right? So I can do it here 2 by sine square theta, or which is sine square A. Now you must use bracket because outside there is minus sign, right? So sine, when you open the bracket, sign will change. So it is 2 by sine square A minus 1 plus sine square A, right? Which can be written as 2 by 2 sine square A minus 1. So please cross check here. Did you reach to the result? Yes, we have reached to the right hand side, which is 2 by 2 sine square A minus 1. This is nothing but your RHS. So therefore LHS is equals to RHS, hence proved. So this is your trigonometric identity. You get these kind of questions when you do practice. Right, let us go for the next question. So this is your next 3-marker question here. What does it say? Find the ratio in which the y-axis divides the line segment joining the point 5 comma minus 6 and minus 4 comma minus 4 minus 1 comma minus 4. Also find the point of intersection. So whenever you have this, first thing you know that which ratio, right? So this is question number 28. You need to, whenever the ratio is missing, means you always take k is to 1. So what you will write on here, let the ratio be, let the ratio be k is to 1. So you will carry half mark here. And the y-axis divides the line segment, means see here, if I draw a line here, correct? Now here, if this is AB, right? Now there is a point on y-axis. So what should be its coordinate here? If I take here point P, the coordinates of y on y-axis is always x coordinate is 0 and y coordinate can be anything. And you are dividing this into k is to 1 ratio. Now you have taken here 0 comma y, so you need to define it here. Let the ratio be k is to 1 and the point P, which is dividing line segment here, and point P B 0 comma y. You need to write down this. Now what are the endpoints here of line segments? A, it's 5 comma minus 6. B, it is minus 1 comma minus 4. Now here you need to find out here and point of intersection. Here it was written here point of intersection. So you can write on point of intersection as P. That means this point is on y-axis, right? So this is going to be both the points meeting at P, both the lines meeting at P, y-axis and line segment AB, right? So how are you going to solve it here first? Because this is given ratio, so you know that you have to use section formula. What is the section formula? Here, if you take here section formula, if you take it, section formula is m1 x2 plus m2 x1 by m1 plus m2 comma m1 y2 plus m2 y1 by m1 plus m2, right? So this is your section formula. So what is your m1 here? If you will see, this is your m1, this is your m2, this is your x1 y1, right? x1 y1, this is your x2 y2. Now more than remembering this formula, you can just remember as a cross multiplication. When you take m1, you will multiply with x2. If you take m2, you will multiply with x1, right? Similarly, m1 with y2 and m2 with y1. So how are we going to take it here? The coordinates of here, you can write on left hand side 0 comma y is equals to here m1 is nothing but k, right? So kx2 will be minus k and m2 is 1, so plus 5 by k plus 1, right? Comma, then m1 y2 will become minus 4k, then 1 into minus 6 by k plus 1. Now here this point where this is going to be the right hand side is the coordinates of point P. Now while when you do the comparison, you can see that 0 will be equals to this and y will be equals to the y coordinate. So how are we going to take it here? Minus k plus 5 by k plus 1 will become 0. Now if you simplify this, what will happen? Because this whole will go to the right hand side, will become 0 minus 5, k plus 5 is equals to 0. So k is equals to 5, right? So therefore what is going to be the ratio here? Therefore ratio is nothing but k is to 1. So you will have ratio as 5 is to 1. This is your first part, right? You need to find out the ratio. What is the second part here? You need to find out the coordinates. So x coordinate is already 0. You have to just get the y coordinate. So if you do this comparison, y is equals to this whole value. So I can write on y is equals to minus 4k minus 6 by k plus 1, right? And you already have value of k as 5. So it will become minus 20 minus 6 by 5 plus 1, which is minus 26 by 6, right? So if you do the simplification, it will be 2 3s are and 13s are, right? So minus 13 by 3. So therefore, what is going to be the coordinates here? Coordinates will become 0, comma minus 13 by 3 here. Therefore, the coordinates of point of intersection, right, is therefore ratio is 5 is to 1, and the coordinates of, you need to conclude your answer for all these subjective type of questions, okay? Coordinates of point of intersection is, point of intersection is, x coordinate is 0 and y coordinate is minus 13 by 3. So this, let us go for 29th question. This is from real number. If you will see, this kind of question always where you have to prove the irrationality always comes as 3-marker question. So this is your question number 9. How do we start it? 1 by root 5 is an irrational number. You always start with contradiction. So instead of irrational, I'll take it as rational number. So we'll write down here, let 1 by root 5 be a rational number. Be a rational number, and 1 by root 5 is equals to P by Q, where Q is not equals to 0 and P and Q are co-primes. This co-primes are important. This is the most important part. That means the simplest form of rational number where there is no common factor between P and Q. If I do the cross multiplication, will it be P equals to root 5Q? Right? After that, what do you do here? Squaring both sides. Squaring both sides. What will happen then? It will become p square equals to 5q square. That means then you do q square equals. So what are we going to do it here? We'll try to find out one common factor other than 1. If we can prove that, then we know that p and q can't be co-prime and it will contradict our assumption. Now you have learned the theorem here. What you can write on here, since, not therefore, it's a, since 5 divides p square, therefore 5 will divide p as well, right? Any number is dividing its square, that means it will divide the number itself also. So here you will write on here, since 5 divides p square, then 5 divides P as well, right? So this is our first one. That means P, 5 is a factor of P, right? 5 is a factor of P, factor of P. Then what do you do here? Because it is dividing here P, so what can we take it here? We can take it here, P is equals to 5a. Now you substitute here, it will become 5a whole square by 5,
right? Because q is p is 5a, so it will be q square is equals to 25a square by 5. 5 ones are 5 fives are. So what are you left with? Q square equals to 5a square. Now you need to transpose here 5 to LHS, right? Here, how will you take it here? Now you can write down a square equals to q square by 5. And there is a theorem, because you are getting a perfect square, right? That means it's dividing perfectly. So here you will write down 5 divides q square. Then here 5 divides p as well, q as well, right? Divides q. Or you can write down here 5 is a factor of q. Now from here, this is your first one where you have shown 5 is a factor of p, and here you got it here 5 divides q as well. So from 1 and 2 you can write down 5 is a common factor between. So therefore from 1 and 2, from 1 and 2 you can see that 5 is a common factor between P and Q. Therefore, P and Q are not coprime, because coprime means the common factor should be only one. Therefore, P and Q are not coprime. This is the most important part here, right? You must mention why they are not rational. Hence, our assumption, hence our assumption is wrong here. Hence, our assumption is wrong, and therefore 1 by root 5 is an irrational number. So generally one question you always see here based on where you have to prove irrationality. So this is your next question, question number 30. What do we need to do here? It's given a room is in the form of cylinder surmounted by hemispherical dome. The base radius of the hemisphere is half of the height of the cylindrical part. So what is the shape here? If I take it here, this is cylindrical shape here, which is surmounted by a hemisphere, right? So how are we going to take it here? If I take this cylinder and then you can take it here, this is your cylinder, right? And then it's surmounted by a hemisphere. This is cylinder. If I take it above this, I can draw one hemisphere. What is written here? So this is nothing but the radius of the, if I take here radius, let the radius of hemisphere be r, right? R centimeter, or it's meter because it's given here in meter. So what is going to be the height? Now radius is half of the height. That means here if I have taken r, then the height is going to be 2r, and height of the cylinder is height of cylinder B2R, right? So here if it is 2R, then half of it is going to be R. Why I have taken, you can take R and R by 2 also, height as R, but I did not want to take it in the fractional form, so I have taken height as 2R. Now what is given here? If this room, so this is the shape of the room, this contains 1408 by 21 cubic meter of air. That means here volume of figure, this is the total volume of figure, which is 1408 by 21 cubic meter. Find the height of cylindrical part. Now, if you will see the volume is going to be the sum of both, right? So it will be sum of hemisphere, volume of hemisphere plus sum of volume of a cylinder. So what you can write down here, total volume, this is the total volume of the figure. So write down in the formula form, what is the volume of hemisphere plus volume of cylinder. Volume of cylinder is the total volume, which is given as 1408 by 21. After that, just substitute the formula here. Let me take this down.
right? So what is the volume of a hemisphere? We know that it's 2 by 3 pi r cube plus what is the volume of a cylinder? Pi r square h, because the radius is same for cylinder and hemisphere, so we can take smaller only. 1048 by 21. This is your equation here. Right now h is nothing but 2r, so if I substitute the value 2 by 3 pi r cube plus here if I substitute h as 2r, what will happen here? 2 pi r cube, which is equals to 101408 by 21. Now do the further simplification. What is the easiest way here? I can take all the common value, which is 2 pi r cube. Then what is left here? 1 by 3 plus 1. See here, you should know the technique to solve this kind of question, because otherwise the calculation becomes very lengthy, right? So you have to be careful how are you going to take the calculation. Take pi as a common value, right? Now 1 by 3 plus 1 is going to be 4 by 3, because I can multiply here 3 by 3. So it will become here 4 by 3 times 2 times 22 by 7. I just wrote 4 by 3 in the starting, times r cube is equals to 1408 by 21, right? Now after this, do the common factor, take it out here. Can we have any common factor? It's not there, so r cube will be 1408. Transpose all the value, you will see somewhere you can do the calculation. So here 3 into 7, denominator goes to numerator, and 4, you don't need to take the product, you can write down in the product form, don't find out the product. Now here 7 threes are 21, will get cancelled with 21, right? Now after that, see, it's a cube. Mostly you have to get right hand side also a cubic number. So can we divide this by 4? It will be 4 ones are 4, 4 threes are 12, 5s are 2s are. It's 252. Then it must be divisible by 11, because 22 is divisible by 11. So 11 2s are 22, 11 threes are 33, and 2 11 2s are 22. So 32 by 4, which is nothing but 8 meters. So what is going to be the radius? Cube root of 8, which is nothing but 2 meters. So what is the radius of the cylinder here? We needed to find out here height, right? Not the radius. We are getting just the radius of the cylinder. Here it's given also, use pi as 22 by 7, right? Now here this is this, so therefore h is nothing but double the radius, so which is going to be 4 meter. After that you need to write on the concluding statement here. They are asking what is the height of the cylindrical part, so you must mention here therefore the height of the cylindrical part is 4 meter. Part is 4 meter. Here you are, this question ends, right? Only surface area volume, you need to be careful with the calculation. Now this is your 31st last question of 3 marker. What is given here? It's based on probability, 3 marker question. Two dice are thrown at the same time. Determine the probability that the difference of the numbers of two dice be 2, right? So whenever you are throwing two dice together or one by one, the total number of possible outcomes total. If you throw one die, then the possible outcome is 6. If you throw two dice together, it will be 6 square. So you write on here total number of possible outcomes is going to be equals to 6 square, which is 36. It will carry 1 mark here. Now the difference of numbers, you don't need to list it, but for your understanding, I'm just writing here 1 comma 1. These are the possible outcomes, right? You write on one row, then you will understand 1 comma 3, then here 1 comma 4, 1 comma 5, and then you will have 1 comma 6. Similarly here 2 comma 1, you will have it here 2 comma 6, right? And so on, you will have 6 comma. So these are your 36 outcomes. Out of this, you need to choose the pair of numbers where the difference is 2, right? 6 3, and here if I take it here, it will be 6 comma 6. So these are the 36 outcomes. Now here, what are your favorable outcome? Because the probability of an event is nothing but what is the formula? Number of favorable outcomes. So here outcomes divided by total number of possible outcomes, right? Here it will be
total number of possible outcomes. So how are you going to take it here? Because I got total possible outcomes 36. How to get favorable outcome is nothing but when the difference of number of two dice is 2, right? So here number of outcomes with difference too, because you need to get which numbers here, yeah, which outcomes are going to give you 2. So look at your first row. If you will see the first row, it is 1 comma 3, because 3 minus 1 is 2. So I can take here first combination is 1 comma 3, and you change the order, it will be 3 comma 1 also, because 3 comma 1 is also difference is 2. Then in the second row, what is the difference with 2? 2 comma 1, difference is 1, 2 comma 2, then 2 comma 3, it will be 2 comma 4, right? Here I can take here 2 comma 4. So the first outcome is 2 comma 4 in the second row, and if you change the order, 4 comma 2 will be in the fourth row, right? Now there is no other outcomes which is giving you in the second row, which is giving you difference 2. Now go for the third row, it is 3 comma 1, I have already taken, then 3 comma 4, 3 comma 5 is going to give you again difference as 2, because 3 comma here 3 comma 1, then 3 comma 2, difference is 1, 3 comma 3, difference is 0, 3 comma 4, difference is 1, then here 3 comma 5, right? So what is the next here outcome? 3 comma 5, and if you change the order, it will be 5 comma 3. Do we have any other possibility here? 2 comma 3, 2 comma 5, 3 comma 5. So how many outcomes? As of now, you see here, you see the 6 outcomes. Now go for the fourth row. There is one more here. If I take here 4 comma 6, because 4 comma 1, the difference is 3, right? Similarly 4 comma 5, difference is 1, and at the end if you take 4 comma 6, the difference is going to be 2. So your next outcome can be 4 comma 6, and if you change the order, it can be 6 comma 4. So these are all the possible outcomes, which is how many numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are such numbers, 8 numbers where the outcomes, possible outcomes, the difference is 2, right? Now you can write down here, so therefore P of, here difference of numbers of two dice, so you will write down here, okay? Difference of numbers of two dice is 2, right? So that is going to be how many is 2 is 8 by 36, which is the simplest form, 4 by 18, right? And then which will be 2 by 9. So what is the probability here? It will be the probability is 2 by 9, right? So therefore this is the final answer, 2 by 9. This is your section D, 5 marker question. So there will be internal choice, right? And each question is of 5 marks. This is the compulsory question 32. Now, if you see this question, what is written here? Vijay invested certain amount of money in two schemes, A and B, which offer interest 8% per annum and 9% per annum respectively. He received 1860 as the total annual interest, right? However, had he interchanged the amount of investment in two schemes, he would have received 20 more as annual interest. So it will be 1880, right? 1860 is the initial annual interest. How much money did he invest in each scheme? That means investment means it's going to be principal. So you should know here simple interest formula. What is the simple interest formula? If I write down here P into R into T, because annual interest means here time is fixed, which is 1 year, right? R is getting changed in two different scheme, which is 8 and 9%, and principal also in two different scheme will be different, right? So let here what are going to be the investment here? Here take let Vijay invested rupees X at the rate of 8% per annum, right? So the invested rupees X at 8% per annum, and rupees Y at 9% per annum in one of the scheme, right? It is per annum. So what is going to be the simple interest here? So first simple interest is going to be here
X is the principal times 8 is the rate of interest plus 1 year by 100. So this is going to be 8x by 100. This is your SI1, first scheme interest. Then if I take here SI2, which is the simple interest from the second scheme, he has invested Y rupees at the rate of 9% per annum for 1 year only, and again divided by here 100, right? So this is your, I'm using here simple interest formula, which is 9y by 100. Now all together this one, simple interest, adding these two values is going to give you how much is the total interest if you take it. So this is linear equation in two variable. That's why you are taking here two variable equation. So that means you need here two equations and you will follow elimination or substitution method. Now 100 is the common factor. To get the simplest form of the equation, I can write down 100 will be common in both, and if you transpose it will become 1862 zeros, right? So it is 1,86,000. This is your first equation, right? Now what is written here? This is my first statement. However, if he had interchanged the amount of investment, that means he is investing rupees X at this is your case 1, right? This is case 1. Now, what is the case 2 here? Now, here in the another, interchanging means rupees X at 9% per annum, 9% per annum in scheme, and Y rupees at 8% per annum. So your interest will change, and it is he will be getting 20 rupees more interest. That means total interest will increase to 1880. So first you get here what is going to be here SI1 in this one. It will be X rupees at the rate of 9% for 1 year by 100, which is going to be 9x by 100. And the second interest that he'll be getting for investing Y rupees for at the rate of 8% for 1 year by 100 is going to be 8y by 100, right? Now what is going to be your equation if you take it here? 9x by 100 plus 8y by 100, and 20 rupees more means it will be 1880. Initially it was 1860, it will become 1880. Again here 100 is common, you can take it to the right side. So 9x plus 8y is equals to 1,88,000. You will get it, right? Here, this is the value. This is your equation 2. Now, how do we simplify this equation 2 here? Now, if you will see here, right, when I do this, you know that how I'm going to solve it here. You can swap here the numerators and denominator, but because it's a smaller value, how are you going to solve this here? I can take the second first equation also. I'll write down together. It's a 8x plus 9y is equals to 1860,000, right? This is my equation 1. You can see that the coefficients are same, right? So you can add 1 plus 2 one time, and then you can subtract also 2 minus 1, right? If you remember, if your coefficients are same, right? The here 9 and 9, x and y, then you can add and subtract and follow that method. So what I can do here, if I add it 9x plus 8y, because the right hand side values are big, so follow that method. Then here it is 8x plus 9y is equals to 1860 here. And then if you are adding these two equations, you get 17x plus 17y, which is equals to here 14, 17, 3, 374. Now what is going to be the common factor here? 17x plus y, which is 374,000, which is x plus y. If you divide this by 17, how much you will get it? 17 to the 34, 3, this is 34, 20,000. So if you can see, this has become the smaller value. When do we apply this method? Whenever your x coefficient is same as is the in the second equation, and y coefficient of first equation is same as coefficient of x in the next equation. Now subtract here. If I subtract, I can do here 2 9x plus 8y is equals to here 188,000 right? And then minus sign is common, 8x, then plus 9y. First write down as it is values. Then you are going to add or subtract. Because it's a subtraction, sign will change here, right? So what are you going to get it here? 9x minus 8x is going to be x. Then here minus y, which is going to be, if you subtract, it is going to be 1, 2, 3, 2, 0. So it will be 2000 because 6000, 8000, that's only difference. This is your equation number 4. Now you can follow elimination method here from 3 and 4. What you can add here? You can add 3 and 4 here. 3 plus 4. What I am going to get it here if I do addition, because y coefficient is same, right? I can do that, x plus y, which is 22 here, 1000, right? 4, 1 second here. If I add it, 14, 17, yeah. So it is 22,000 and x minus y is here 2000. So how much you are getting it? This gets cancelled. 2x, which is equals to 24,000. So x is going to be rupees 12,000. You are getting value of x here. How to get value of y here? Use equation 1 or 2. So I am using here equation 1. If I use it here, it will be 12,000 plus y, which is equals to 22,000. So y is going to be rupees here. 22,000 minus 12,000 is going to be 10,000. So you got his investment in different this one scheme. So you can write down here, hence he invested, because what is the scheme here? Scheme A and B, right? So invested rupees, you can write down here in A, scheme A, right? I did not mention here, but you can write down at scheme B. Then here in the second case, if you will see, you can write down in scheme A and here in scheme B. Right, so our final answer will be here because A value, therefore Vijay invested rupees 12,000 in scheme A and rupees 10,000 in scheme B, right? So this is sometime, most of the time you get quadratic equation question, but here it is a linear equation question, which is 5 marker. Let us go for the next question number 33rd, which is based on triangles, which is a 5 marker question with internal choice, right? What is given here? The diagonal BD of a parallelogram ABCD intersect in the line segment AE at the point F, where E is any point on BC. Prove that DF times EF is equals to FB times FA. How are you going to do it here? Figure is not given. So that means there will be weightage for drawing figure also. So how are you going to do it? First, I'll draw the parallelogram here. Let me draw the parallelogram, right? So if I draw a parallelogram, try to draw the neat figure and not very small, not very big, so that you can refer the figure to solve the question. So if this is a parallelogram, right? Parallelogram means opposite sides are parallel. So I can mark here parallel symbol. This is A, B, C, D, right? Now BD is the diagonal. So first you will join B to D here, right? Whatever is given in the question, follow that instruction. So BD is there. Intersect a line segment AE, and now here it's written E is on BC. So I can take a point on BC as E. So AE you have to draw, which intersect BD at F. This point is F, right? So what is given here? First, you will always, any geometry question, you will start with given to prove to find, and then you are going to solve it or prove it. So given here in a parallelogram, what is that parallelogram? ABCD, right? What is given here? AE and BD intersect at F, right? AE and BD intersect at F, right? We don't have any other thing. What is to prove here? To prove, if you will see, we need to prove here df times ef
is equals to FB times FA. Now you know that it will be based on similarity of triangles, and whenever there is a similarity of triangle, we get the ratio of sides. So you take the ratio, you will understand which triangle you need to choose. So it's a FA by EF. See, I'm just transposing one of the value. Now look at here, this is DF and FB. So this is your DF, this is your FB, then FA, your FA by EF, right? So how am I going to do it here? If I taking here, if you want to take it here, see here, DF by FB, right? Or I can take it here df by fa. If I take it here fa, we can't take it df by fa because it's given here df by fa. If you'll take it, it will be part of the same triangle, so I need the other triangle, so I'll leave fa there only, right? This you need to decide. So which two triangles are having these two things here? This is one of the triangle, this is another triangle, which is you are going to consider to have all these parts, right? So let us take it here. Do we need any extra construction? Not required. So we'll start with proof here. Which two triangles you are going to take it here? In triangle here, AFD, and triangle, you don't need to mention this, so it is just you can put the triangle symbol AFD and triangle AF. Now if I want to see the correspondence, I know alternate interior angles are equal, so here this angle is going to be equals to this, and this angle is going to be equals to this, because alternate interior angle and F will corresponds to F only, because vertically opposite angles are equal. You can take any two equal angles and you can use A similarity to prove that both are similar. So A corresponds to B, right? So triangle BF corresponds to F, D corresponds to B, right? Uh, AFD corresponds to E. Now see here, your AFD, A will correspond to E. Then F and D corresponds to B, right? Now how are we going to take it here? Take any two corresponding angles which are equal. So if I take angle ADF, which is equals to angle EBF, because here alternate interior angles are equal, right? Because it's a parallel line, BD will be a transversal. What is the other angle which is equal? Angle AFD will be equals to angle EFB. EFB, again here this is vertically opposite angles are equal, right? The moment you have a similarity, then you can take it here using a similarity here, using a similarity. You can say that. Now here the correspondence is very important. You need to just keep that in the mind, then you will never go wrong in triangles question. AFD, so A corresponds to EFB, right? The moment two triangles are similar, I know that the corresponding sides are in equal ratio, so I can write down here AF by EF, which is equals to FD by FB, which is equals to AD by EB. Why do we write on this? Corresponding sides of similar. See, I'm writing all the steps so that you please follow the same to avoid losing any marks. Corresponding sides of similar triangles are in equal ratio or they are proportional, right? In equal ratio or proportional, if you write on, it's the same. Now you will see what is required to prove here. We need DF and FB. Where do you see DF? This is FD is nothing but DF by FB is equals to AF. These two we are going to take it, right? Because these two we needed to prove. So let us take these two parts. These two, if I take it, what can I write on here? I can rearrange DF by BF or FB, because it's a length now, right? In similarity, we keep it in the mind our correspondence, but when you are talking about the final answer length, then you can take, so it is DF by FB, right? So here DF by FB, which is equals to FA by EF. Hence proved.
Now this is your question number 33rd, second part, internal choice question, B part. So this is question number 33rd, orbit. What is written here? In triangle ABC, if AD is perpendicular to BC. So first let us draw the figure here. If I draw the triangle here, ABC here, let us take here ABC, right? I can take it here till here. This is ABC. Now what is written here? If AD is perpendicular on BC, so I'll take here perpendicular line. Perpendicular means it is making 90 degree, right, on BC. So what is given here? We'll start with given in triangle ABC. What is given here? AD is perpendicular on BC, right? And what else is given here? And AD square is equals to BD times DC. Again, it's given in this form. This can be written as AD times AD. You write down in the ratio form because it's a similarity. So we can use SSS or SAS similarity when you are writing which ratios are equal, right? Now, if you see this is given, this you will take it because to prove what is given here, we need to prove that angle BAC is 90 degrees. So this angle, if you will see, I have to prove it. This angle is 90 degrees. So that I should get it, this plus this must be 90 degree angle, right? In both the triangles. So here to prove it is angle BAC which is equals to 90 degree. Now whenever we do this means we have to take the similarity because without similarity we won't be able to get the angle, right? What are you going to prove? Which two triangles are similar? How to get it here? Look at here the ratio AD and by BD, right? Equals to DC by AD. So which two triangles you are considering? ADC and ABD. But how the correspondence will be there, that is the most important part. I will start with D's because it's a 90 degree angle, so it's easy to take it here. We'll take it here DBA and triangle because corresponding angle will be D to D, right? And here this angle must be equals to this and this angle must be equals to this. Take B to A and A to C, right? Now the moment we have this, right, both the triangles are having 90 degree angle common. So I can write down here angle BDA will be equals to angle. Here B corresponds to A. So it can be ADC. Why? Because each is 90 degree. Because it's a perpendicular, so it's 90 degree. Now write down the ratio here. It's given AD by BD which is equals to DC by AD. Using SAS similarity, right? We can say that triangle DBA is similar to triangle DAC, right? Now, how are we going to take it here? DBA, why did we prove it here? This is similar because if they are similar, we will take the other corresponding angles. This angle here, BAD will be equals to angle BAD will be ACD. This is your equation 1 and angle BAD will be completed by angle CAD. So from the other triangle first you write down CAD, right? Then only you'll get sum as 90 degrees. So angle CAD will be equals to angle CAD. So it will be angle ABD. Why this is true? Because here corresponding angles of similar triangles are equal, right? You need to mention this reason. Now after that, because I need complete angle BAC is equals to 90 degrees, so you'll do 1 plus 2. Then that means left hand side will be added angle BAD plus angle CAD which will be equals to angle ACD plus angle ABD, right? Take here, look at here, BAD plus CAD will be this complete angle, which is angle BAC. So I got one of the side here, BAC, equals to, down here, angle ACD means this angle as angle C, plus ABD is nothing but angle B. But till now we have to prove here it is sum is 90 degree, right? Now what you can use here, I can use, because I need to prove this as 90 degree. Now I can take here in triangle ABC, I can use here angle sum property, because BAC is nothing but angle A, right? So BAC plus angle B plus angle C is 180 degree. So I need to remove this. So can I write down here angle B plus angle C is equals to 180 degree minus angle BAC. So this one you can label it as 3. Now this is 4, right? So from 3 and 4, because you can substitute value from 4 to 3. So I can write down here from 3 and 4. I can substitute here angle BAC will be equals to 180 degree minus angle BAC. Now you get it to the left hand side, this part, it will be 2 times angle BAC will be equals to 180 degree. That means here angle BAC will be equals to 90 degree. Now therefore this is, you reach to the result, hence proved, right? So you are using your similarity and then angle sum property to prove this. This is your another 5 marker question. Let us go for the next question here. Two question will have internal choice. Now read it here. What is given? The perimeter of a right triangle is 60 meter and its hypotenuse is 25 centimeter. Find the length of other two sides of a triangle. If you see that, then this is looking like quadratic equation. Generally linear equation and quadratic equation, among those, one 5 marker will be there, but in this paper you can see here there are algebra, there are two 5 marker questions. So let us start solving it here. So first let us draw here right triangle, because they are talking about right triangle. If I take here right triangle, then if I mark it here, A, B, C, what is written here? Hypotenuse is AC, which is given 25 meter, right? So perimeter, what is given here? In triangle ABC, AB, AC is given 60, 25 meter, centimeter, not meter, it is centimeter. So this is in centimeter. AC is given 25 centimeter, right? After that, what else is given here? Perimeter, right? Perimeter of the triangle means sum of all the three sides. So perimeter is given as 60 centimeter, right? So what to find here? To find, it is the length of the other two side, which is AB. AB is unknown, BC is unknown. So whenever you see here right triangle, you know that you can solve using Pythagoras theorem. Here you can write on and, right? So how do we solve it here? Solution, first thing we have to use perimeter. So let here, if I am taking here, let AB will be equals to x centimeter, right? So what is going to be the length of BC in terms of x? You know that here it's given AB plus BC plus AC is equals to 60 centimeter. Now if I take AB as x, we can't take here two variable, right? Just try to use one variable, because Pythagoras theorem you will get a quadratic equation. This is 25 is equals to 60. So you can get here BC also in terms of x. So 60 minus 25 is going to be here 35, right? Here 25 is going to be 35, so we can directly write on here 35 minus x. So if AB is x, this is 35 minus x, right? Now once you get this, all the three sides are known, you can write on here using Pythagoras theorem, because it's a right triangle, we can use here Pythagoras theorem also. Using Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square, which is AC square, will be equals to AB square plus BC square, right? So what is given here? AB square, x square plus 35 minus x whole square is equals to 25 square, because 25 is your hypotenuse, correct? Start solving it. Make sure you don't do any calculation error.
This is a square plus b square minus 2ab is 625. 25 square is 625. Whatever the identity you are using it, you need to mention that, okay? After that, what is 35 square? If you take it here, 35 square, it is 1225, and this one will become 2x square because x square plus x square is 2x square. Then here minus 70x minus 625 is equals to 0. Because any quadratic equation you need to get the simplest form. Now minus, rearrange it highest to lowest power, 2x square minus 70x, and if you do this subtraction 625, you are left with 600, right? So it will be plus 600 is equals to 0. Now here if you see that 2 is a common factor, to get the simplest form of the equation, we can do the further simplification. Now this 2 will go here and it will become, what will be your standard form of quadratic equation? X square minus 35x plus 300 is equals to 0. Now you can follow the quadratic formula also, but you should remember this is application based question, and whenever there is an application based question, you can always, you will be always able to do the factorization part. So your sum is minus 35, right? So I have to get two factors whose sum is minus 35 and product is 300. Now 300, if I list the factors, 1 times 300, 2 is 150, 3 is 100. You know that I need the bigger value because here then 4 times 75, right? 5 times 60. So slowly, what is that here? 10 times 30, right? I'm just skipping some values here because I know I need the bigger values. Then 15 times 20 is 300, right? So now you know that 15 and 30, the sum is 35, but I need negative 35. I can take both negative and product is positive. So how are we going to do splitting the middle term? Here minus 15x minus 20x plus 300 equals to 0. Now do the grouping. X is the common factor, x minus 15 minus 20 is the common factor here. If I take here 20, 20 ones are 20, 10, then 5s are 100. It's equals to 0. So x minus 15 times here x minus 20 is equals to 0. So what are the possible values? If you will see here, x can be here, therefore x is 15 or 20, right? What we were finding here, if you have taken as x was the length of AB. So what is the length of AB? You need to find out. What do we need to find out? Length of the other two sides, right? So AB and BC. So what is AB? X, right? Here if I rewrite here, AB is x and BC was here 35 minus x, correct? So you will get here two answers. So what you need to write down, if x is equals to 15, the length of AB is x centimeter and the length of BC is 20 centimeter. X, this is 15 centimeter. So AB will be 15 centimeter if you're taking X, and BC is going to be here 20 centimeter. This is one combination. Then if you take X as 20 centimeter, your AB length is going to be 20 centimeter and BC length will become 15 centimeter, right? So you got both the side because the perpendicular can be vertical or horizontal. So what are the side length here? Hence sides are of which length? 15 centimeter and 20 centimeter length. So this is your quadratic equation. First question we'll take now. Orbit also. The orbit, if you see, it is speed based question, right, which is important. So let us go for the next question here. So let us take here question number 34 part B. What does it say here?
a train travels a distance of 480 km at uniform speed. If speed had been 18 km per hour less, then it would take 3 more hours to cover the same distance. Find the speed of the train. Now there is one unknown value, you know that it will be an quadratic equation. You need to frame the quadratic equation. So first let us start with, let the speed of the train be x kilometer per hour. Right now, what is the distance it has to cover here? If you see, the distance is given as here 480 kilometer. So total distance to be covered here, total distance is equals to 480 kilometer. Right now you need to remember here, speed is equals to distance by time. But here what happened, you know, you have the distance, you have the here speed. So you will frame the equation here as distance by speed, because total time is given, right? 3 hours. It's a comparison. If the 8 km per hour is less, then it will take more time to cover, right? So what we will write on first here, if speed is equals to x kilometer per hour, then time taken to cover 480 kilometer will be equals to, distance by speed means 400 by x hour. This much hour it is taking when the speed is uniform, which is x kilometer per hour. And the second case given here, if the speed is 8 kilometer per hour less. So if speed is less means you are going to subtract by 8. This is x minus 8 kilometer per hour. How much time will it take? Time taken to cover the same distance, to cover here 480 kilometer will be, distance is same, the speed is changed, so these many hours. Now you need to do the comparison here, which is greater among these two. You know that lesser the speed, it will take more time, right? So if I write down this as t1 time and this as t2 time, because the difference between both the time is 3 hours. One is taking 3 hours more, right? Which will take 3 hours more? The one which is having less speed. Or you can put the logic, divided by the smaller denominator will give you the greater value. Here the denominator is greater, will give you the whole fraction is going to be smaller. So here T2 is time is into x minus 8 kilometer per hour, speed is more. How much more is that? T2 minus T1 is 3 hours. So how the equation will be framed here? You'll write down, because if you change the order, then you will get your speed as negative value. So you need to be careful here. How are you arranging this equation? The order, the terms of this equation equals to 3. Right? X, when you are dividing by x minus 8, it will be the greater value. So now after this, there are two terms. Do the cross multiplication to get the value 480x minus 480 times x minus 8 by product of the denominators, which is this, is equals to 3. Now if I simplify the bracket, 480x minus 480x plus, you need to multiply here 480 times 8, which is 3840. Right? Do horizontal multiplication. Then after that, if you will get it to right hand side, this whole value will come there. Now this gets cancelled. What is left with 3x square minus 24x is equals to 3840. I just rearrange so that everything is coming to this side. I'm just writing like this. I did not do any transposition. Now I'm going to transpose the value so that I'm getting the standard form of the quadratic equation. Highest power is 2, so this is a quadratic equation, right? Now, if you see what will be the simplest form of the equation, 3 is common among all the terms. So, x square minus 8x minus, if you divide this by 3, you will get 1280. 1s are, 2s are, 8s are, 0s are 0. So, your equation simplest form is going to be this, right? Now here you can see that this value is looking bigger, right? So you can follow here either quadratic formula, or you can take it here factorization also, right? So if I'm trying to do here, so your sum should be minus 8, product should be minus 1280. Now you know that it will be 2 digit by 2 digit. So what is the other way I can do? I can do factorization also, right? But in factorization you should know take the different combination to get 8. So let us take here, if I take 6 to 2, if I take the first factor, 2 6 are 4 are 0 are, then here 3 are, then again 2 160, here 80, then here 40, right? Now here in this case, you have to see the different combination if you're doing prime factorization. Otherwise, follow the quadratic formula, right? Now what should I edit here? 8, correct? Now if I see 2 2s are 4, 2s are 8, 2s are 16, 2s are 32, right? Then what is the product here? 5 2s are 10, 2s are 20, 2s are 40. So if you take here product is 32, here it is 40. But in this case, you should know how to do it. Do a little bit practice, then only you can use this method, okay? Can take the product as minus 40 times 32, which is minus 1280, and the sum will be minus 8. So do the splitting the middle term here. It will be minus plus 32x minus 40. Why I am taking 40 to the second place? Because I know it will be easy to do the calculation, right? Instead of dividing by 32. Now x is common, x plus 32. You already took 40. So what will be the other factor? 32, right? So minus 40 if I take it common, x plus 32, which is 0. So it is x minus 40 times x plus 32, which is equals to 0, right? You are getting here two factors. So I can take it here equals to 0, and if you do the further simplification, what do we get it here? Therefore, x is equals to minus 32 or 40. But you know that the speed cannot be negative. So what you will write down? Since x cannot be equals to minus 32, speed cannot be negative. Can't be negative. You need to mention this why you cannot consider this value. Therefore, your speed is going to be 40 kilometer per hour, right? 40 kilometer per hour. Therefore, the speed of the train is 40 kilometer per hour. This is your question number 35, right? What does it say? Find the missing frequency of the following table when the mean of the given data is 18 and you need to find out the mode, right? So mean is given, you need to find out the mode. That means you can't calculate mode until unless you have frequency. So that is why there will be 3 marks for calculating mean, missing frequency. Then again 2 marks will be for calculating modes. Generally mean median question will be 3 marker, mode will be 2 marker. So how do we do this question? You know that whenever you have this kind of table and if there is a missing F frequency, you always follow direct method to calculate the mean. So what should be my table here? Let me draw here only table because it's a direct method. I don't need more columns. So first you take the same CI daily allowance which is given your class interval, then number of children, right? And then you need here xi column which is the mid value of the class interval, and then you need here fi xi, right? So 4 columns are needed if you are following the direct methods. Daily allowance, then here number of children. Now whenever you have doubt how many columns you need to make it, first you write down the formula, right? Mean x bar is, I just now I told you whenever any frequency is missing, you'll always follow the direct method. So fi means here total frequency, xi is the mid value of the class interval. So first you take it here 11 to 13, then 13 to 15, 15 to 17, 17 to 19. While copying the data, make sure you don't do any mistake, right? Then here 21 to 23 and then 23 to 25. It's already in the continuous interval, so there's no problem here. Then please draw the table using scale and pencil so that it looks neat. Okay, and here we'll take the last column. So what will come here? What are the frequency here? It is leave some space between the rows so that it looks neat. The values should not look cluttered, right? It should be properly aligned. So doing any calculation will be easy. So all ones places digit should be under ones place, right? Now I can write on here, draw the horizontal line, and here you can write on total. So what is going to be a sigma fi? The sum of all these, right? You can add here vertically 7 plus 6, 13, 13 plus 9 here, 13 plus 9 is going to be 22, and then here 22 plus 3, 25, 25 plus 5, 30, it's 34. But before that, you should have here plus f also, right? So plus f, and here 3 and 1 4, correct? So what is by sigma fi? It is 44 plus f. Now the next column is xi, which is the mid value of the class interval. How do we get xi here? Upper limit plus lower limit by 2. This is your formula. So 11 plus 2, 13 is 24, 24 by 2 is going to be 12, and your class width means here class width is 2, so you can get 12, 14 in the interval of 2 also, or you add it 13 plus 15, which is 28 by 2, it is 14. Now here to here, if you see, it is plus 2. Why is it plus 2? Because the difference upper limit minus lower limit is also 2. So you can get it like that also. So I can directly write down 16. Here it is 18. This is your 20, and this is 22, and this is 24. Now what is the next column here? If you see sigma fi xi. So this is your nothing but fi. So you need to find out frequency times mid mark, right? 12 sevens are, if I take it here, 84, right? So right here in properly aligned values so that adding or subtracting values won't be difficult. This also will be 84, right? Then 16 nines are 144, so 144. Then here if I take 16 nines are done, 18 times 13, this 234, and then here 20 times f, it will be written as 20f. Now you can write down little bit on side because I don't need to add this value. I'll write down at the end this. Then here 110, because all these are the constant and 20f is the variable term. And here 1696. So what I'm going to get it as sigma fi xi, you know that there will be 20f plus the extra value, right? So make sure there's no mistake here, because if you do anything wrong, then the whole calculation, the 5 marks will be gone. And if you're adding everything, you will get here 752. Whenever any frequency is missing, you will always follow direct method in mean. So what is given here? Mean is given as, in the question, mean is given as 18, right? So here 18 is the mean. So what can I write down? Sigma fi xi is 20f plus 752 by 44 plus f is equals to 18, right? This is your equation, and when you solve this equation for f, you will get the frequency. So let us solve this. Time equals to 18 times 44 plus 18f. So we can take it here, 20f minus 18f, which is equals to, if you take here 18 times 44, you'll get 792 minus 752. Now if you take this, it's a 2f, which is minus 752. You know that it's a 40. So what is going to be your frequency here? Frequency, you got it as 20, right? So here the missing value is 20. Now for mode, you don't need to redraw the table because here now I can write down in my table here, or I can write down here this is 20. Now the same table you can refer for mode. Now among this, how do we find out the modal class? What is the highest frequency among all? This is f equals to 20. So your modal class is going to be 19 to 21. So what is your modal class? It is nothing but 19 to 21, right? Now, what is the mode formula here? If I write on here mode formula, because once you write on the formula, you know what do you need, right? L plus, what are you going to take it here? F1 minus F0 by 2F1 minus F0 minus F2 times H, right? So I need all these values. So what is your F1 here? If you will see the table, the modal class corresponding frequency is called F1. How can you remember? The corresponding is F, before that will be F0, so 13 will be F0. Next class frequency is going to be F2, right? And L is the lower limit of the modal class. So what is your L here? 19, F1 is 20, F0 is, what is the frequency before the class here? 13 and 5 here the next class. So this is 13, F2 is going to be 5, and H is higher upper limit minus lower limit. So I can take it for modal class also because your width is going to be uniform class width. Now substitute the values here. What will be mode? L is, lower limit is 19 plus F1 is 20 minus 13 by 2 times 20 minus 13 minus 5 times 2. Now you need to be careful here. You should not do any calculation error, right? So 19 plus, this is 20 minus 7, 13 is going to be 7 by 40 minus 18 times 2, right? So 19 plus 7, this is 18, 20, it will be 22 times 2. So 1s are 11s are. Now instead of finding LCM, I can convert 7 by 11 into decimal, right? In the rough work you can do. So divide here 7 by 11 instead of finding LCM so that it will be easy. Now I can't divide 7, it will be 0 time. Put 0, how many times will it go? 11 6 are 66, right? Then 4 is the remainder here. So 4 is the remainder, then again one more 0 if you take it, it will be 3 times. So 33, 7, then again 6 times, right? It will be repetition. So it is 19.6363 dash dash dash, which is approximately equals to 19.64. And what we were calculating here, what is given here? Daily allowance. So right. So daily allowance, there's no unit given, so you will just write down it is approximately 19.64. So this is your answer. Now this is your last section, which is case study question. This is question number, last three question means 36, 37, 38. So this is your question number 36. What is given here? A school is organizing a charity run to raise funds for local hospital. The run is planned as a series of rounds around a track, with each round being 300-meter. To make the event more challenging and engaging, the organizer decided to increase the distance of each subsequent round by 50 meters. For example, the second round will be 350 meter, the third round will be 400 meter. The total number of rounds planned was 10. That means it's a n is 10. Now this is nothing but you can see that it is based on arithmetic. So you'll start with question number 36. It is going to be your AP here. What is going to be the AP starting from 300 meters? Then the next round increase by 350 meter, then 400 meter, and so on. Now what was the first question? It says here, write the fourth, fifth, and sixth term of arithmetic progression. So A1, A2, A3, right? These are A1, A2, A3. So what is going to be here? How do we get it here? Fourth term, you don't even without using
nth term formula also. By seeing this, by adding 50, you can get the next term. So A4 will be 400 plus 50, which is going to be 450. Then A5 will be 450 plus 50, which is going to be 500 meters. Please write down the unit because it was in meters. And A6 again, if you'll add 50, it will be 550 meters. So that is why this carries only 1 mark. And after that, what is given here? What do I need to find out here? Determine the distance of eighth round. It is that particular round, means you need to find out here the second part. You need to find out A8, right? We don't have A8. What is your A here? First write on 300. Your common difference is A2 minus A1, which is 350 minus 300, or any two consecutive term difference you can take it, right? Now write down here nth term formula. What is nth term formula? A plus n minus 1d. That means here A8 is going to be A plus 7d. What is your A? It is 300 plus 7 times 50, which is 300 plus 350. So your A8 is going to be equals to 650 meters, right? Again, this also carries only 1 mark. Then after that, what is given here? There are again internal choice for 2 marker always. So here, what is given here? Find the total distance run after completing 10 rounds. So that means the total distance is going to be S10, right? So here, if I'm doing it here only, please you avoid doing sidewise. So if I take here, don't forget to mention the question number. This is your third bit part A. What you need to find out here? S10. Now again here A is same, D is same. You know that. First write down Sn formula, n by 2 times 2A plus n minus 1d. Now I need to find out here S10 means n is 8, right? N is 10. So S10 is going to be equals to 10 by 2, 2 times 300. Substitute the values, okay? 3 times 2 times 300 plus 9 times 50, because D is 50, n minus 1, 10 minus 1 will be 9. So S10 will be equals to 5 times. Make sure you don't do any calculation mistake here. This is 5 times 1050, right? And when you do this, you will get the total distance covered in 10 rounds. So zeros are 25, here 5. How much distance is covered here? 5250 meter. Now orbit also will do it here. What is written? If a runner completes only the first 6 rounds, what is the total distance run by the runner? Now here this is orbit. That means it is third B bit, right? This is orbit where the runner is completing only 6 rounds. That means we need to find out S6, right? This is here also question mark, and here N is 6. So how to find out S6? Again, you can write down this Sn formula. I have written this. I am not rewriting here. It will be 6 by 2 times 300 plus n minus 1 will become 5, because 6 minus 1 is 5 times 50, right? So here if I do this further simplification, 3 times 600 plus 250, where 3 times 850, which if you calculate 24, 25 meters. Now this is your next case study question. It says a brooch is decorative piece often worn on clothing like jacket, blouses or dresses to add elegance. Made from precious metals and decorated with gemstones, brooches come in many shapes and designs. So they have taken one of such brooch here. What is written? One such brooch is made with silver wire in the form of a circle. Here you can see that this is in the form of a circle, right? Which is made by silver wire, with diameter is 35. That means from here to here length is 35. So if diameter is 35, your radius is going to be 35 by 2 millimeter. The wire is also used to make such 5 diameter. So you can see that 5 lines, 1 2, yeah, 3 4 or 5, or 10 radius 5 diameter, which divides the circle into 10 equal sectors. You can see that here each one, this is one sector. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are such 10 sectors. Now, based on this information, we have to solve the questions, right? So, what is the first part here? First, you can write down in the common part here also. Here, what is written here? It is a circle divided into what is the diameter of the circle given here, because this information will be used as in all the bits, right? So you can write down as the common explanation. Diameter of circle is 35 meters. So what is going to be the radius of the circle? It will be 35 by 2 millimeter, right? And here, what is going to be the central angle? How are you going to get the central angle? You know that the sum of all the angle is always 360-degree, because this complete angle is 360-degree angle at the center. So you can write down here angle around, or sum of angles around a point, around the center here, around center is going to be equals to 360-degree, and it is divided into 10 equal segments. So each central angle is going to be equals to, central angle will be 360 by 10, which is 36-degree is the answer of the first bit. Then what do I need to find out? Arc length ACB, right? Now here, if I take the second bit here, arc length formula, if you take it here, arc length formula is theta by 360 into 2 pi r. Don't forget the formula. 2 pi r we take it because arc length is the part of circumference. So if I take it here, what will be the arc length here? Theta is 36 degrees. So 36 by 360, right? This is 360 times 2 times pi is 22 by 7, and r is 35 by 2. Now follow the cancellation method. It will be 1s are, this is 10s are, 2 1s are, 5s are, 5 1s are, 5 sevens are, 7 ones are, 7 ones are, 2 ones are, 2 elevens are. So you are left with only the numerator here. Arc length of arc length ACB is going to be 11 millimeter. Don't forget to mention the unit here, right? So your second part is done. That is also for 1 marker. Now what is the third part? If you will see, find the area of each sector, because all these sectors are identical. I can find out area of each sector, right? So how to find out the area of each sector? So third part, if I take part A, because there's internal choice, so you can write on here area of sector. First formula, area of sector is equals to theta by 360 times pi r square, because you are taking the part of area of circle, that's why we use pi r square. Now what is your theta here for each central angle? It's a 36 by 360 times pi is 22 by 7, and r is 35 by 2 times 35 by 2. Right? Now follow the cancellation method. Again, ones are here, tens are, 7 ones are, 7 fives are, 5 ones are, 5 twos are, 2 ones are, 11s are. Then what is left here? 11 times 35 by 4, right? Because here you can't cancel, you will get a decimal value. What is your 11 in times 35? It is 385 by 4. And if you divide this by 4, because you'll get a terminating decimal, your answer, your area is going to be 96.25 millimeters square, because this is the area of each sector, right? The area of each sector will be this. Now, what is the orbit here? If you'll see, this is part A. The part B says that find the total length of the silver wire used. Now, when we started, they said silver wire is used to make this circle, right? And to make these 5 diameters. So the length of the circle means it's a boundary of the circle, which is nothing but circumference of the circle, right? So how are we going to do this? This is your third bit, second part, right? So third bit, second part, it says here length of wire which is used to make this, length of wire will be equals to circumference of circle. First, you have to understand what length you are considering. Circumference of circle plus 5 diameters, right? Or you can take 10 radius. So what is the circumference of the circle? 2 pi r plus 5 into 35, because diameter is nothing but 35 given, right? So what is the 2 pi r? Substitute the value. 2 times 22 by 7 times r is 35 by 2 plus 20 175, and then follow the cancellation method here. 1s are 5s are 1s are 1s are. So you are left with 100 here if you do the multiplication plus 175. So what is going to be the total length of the wire? It will be 285 millimeter of wire is used to make this circle, and those 5 diameter, which is divided into 10 sectors. See, this is the next case study question. This is the last question of the paper, question number 38, which is based on application of trigonometry. What is given in this question here? It says that Amrita stood near the base of the lighthouse. So if you will see the figure, this is the lighthouse, right? See here, you can see that lighthouse, right? And stood near the base of the lighthouse. So if she is standing at A and CB is the lighthouse and she is standing at A, the distance between the foot of the tower and Amrita is AE. Right now, what is written here? Gazing up at its towering height, she measured the angle of elevation to the top of the found it to be 60 degrees. So when she is standing here, the angle between line of sight, top of the lighthouse will be 60-degree angle between AE and AC, which is angle of elevation 60 degree. Right, then she climbed nearly a nearby observation deck, so she's climbing from A to B. So maybe she's standing here, it is like this, the angle of elevation is this, then she's climbing here, so this has become, because see, as per this here in this figure, she's standing here, that's why she's climbing vertically above. So this is there, right? And then this is the angle. Now, when she climbs at B, the angle of elevation to same top of the tower is 45 degree. We need horizontal. So this is the angle between BD and BC, right? What do I need to find out here? The original position. Her original position means I have to find out at A. uh, from the original position, from A she is going 40-meter higher. What do we need to find out here? Top of the angle of elevation is 45. Okay, so here whatever is finding, it's given in this form, right? So how will you draw the figure if this figure is not given? There is a lighthouse. Do we have the lighthouse? So if I take this as a lighthouse, I'm taking as same whatever they have given, so that there's no doubt here. She is standing at point A, so the distance between this is foot of the tower. Then she climbs 40-meter above, so this is going to be above B. Now what was the angle of elevation here? First AC here, this is angle of elevation. So which triangle you are going to consider first? ACE. Here there's a 90-degree angle, don't forget to mention. Now from B position, she is her angle of elevation is 45. So I need horizontal line, I'm making parallel to this, which is BD, right? And angle of elevation here, it is 45 degrees, right? So this angle, if you see, this is 45 degree. And what is the another triangle you will take here? BDC, right? This height, it's given as 40 meter, and here, from here, they have already given in the figure only H meter. What do I need to find out here? CD is H meter. Find the distance BD in terms of H. So how are you going to do it here? First, because it is in bits, you will mention in triangle BDC, right? Now here I need to find out BD. So what I need to take it here? Opposite by adjacent with respect to 45 degree, because this is going to be a hypotenuse. We are not considering here hypotenuse. So you remember always whenever you're doing trigonometry, SOHCAHTOA rule, which is sine is opposite by hypotenuse, cos is adjacent by hypotenuse, and tan is opposite by adjacent. So we'll take here tan 45. So opposite is CD and adjacent is BD. Tan 45 is 1, CD is H by BD. So BD in terms of H will be BD is equals to H meter. This is your finding. BD is equals to H meter. Then after that, find the distance BC in terms of H. How to find out BC? Now they are saying BC in terms of H. Now BC is again part of the same triangle, right? Now, but the BC is nothing but hypotenuse, this length, right? Hypotenuse because this is with respect to 45 degree, this is opposite, this is hypotenuse, so opposite by hypotenuse is sine. So we have to take here sine rule, right? So which triangle are you going to consider here? I am going to consider the same triangle here. So we will take here first always mention the triangle wherever you are applying trigonometric ratio. So here we can not tan, it is going to be sine, right? Because opposite by hypotenuse, just now we discussed. So here it is sine 45. Most of the questions are based on tan, but sometimes you get the other trigonometric ratios also. Opposite is CD, hypotenuse is BC. Now sine 45, it is 1 by root 2. Now CD is H by BC. You do cross multiplication, so BC will be root 2 H meter. So you got BC also in terms of H, right? Now what is the next part here? If you see, we need to find out the height CE using CE of the lighthouse, and you have to use root 3 as 1.73. Now if I need to find out height of the tower, I need to take this full length, which is CE. So which trigonometric ratio, which triangle first I'll consider? We'll consider AEC, right? And for this it will be opposite by adjacent. Why adjacent? Because we already have BD length, right? So in this triangle, which triangle you are going to take it here? In triangle AEC here. Third one in triangle AEC. If I take here tan 60, opposite will be CE by adjacent will be AE. Now see here, BD is equals to AE, and BD from first bit you already have H meter, right? So substitute the value. Tan 60 is root 3, CE will be H plus 40. Why is it H plus 40? One more time here, you need to write down here, it's a 40 meter, opposite sides are equal. That you need to mention here. Okay, so you can mention here DE is equals to here AB, which is equals to 40 meter, and BD will be equals to AE, which will be equals to H meter, right? Then only you can substitute here AE as H, otherwise you can't do it, right? So here do the transposition. Root 3h minus h will be equals to 40. Here I need to do the rationalization. Here h is common. Root 3 minus 1 is 40. If I transpose, h value will be 40 by root 3 minus 1. And after that, we have to do the rationalization. What is going to be the rationalization? Root 3 plus 1, rationalizing factor that you have learned in grade 9. Now do not open the bracket in the numerator. You can just leave the answer because sometime common factor will get cancelled. Right, so it is 20 times, because here root 3 value is given already 1.1, 1.73, right? So we can substitute also here now. 1.73 plus 1 by this is 40, not 20. Okay, 20 it will become once you will divide by 2. Correct? So this is 40 by 2, 2 ones are 2 20s are. So what is the value of h here? 20 times 2.73, and if you do the multiplication here, just put 0. 2.73 times 20 is going to be 54.6 meter. Right? This is h, not the height of the tower, because we need to find out height of the lighthouse, right? So we need to add here. H is nothing but, here if you see the figure, H is CD. We need to find out this full length, which is CE. So you need to add 40. This is nothing but CD. How to get here CE? It will be CD plus DE. right, which is 54.6 plus 40, that is going to be 94.6, right? So 94.6 meter. So this is your C. Therefore, the height of the lighthouse you can write on as the height of the lighthouse is height of lighthouse is 94.6 meters. So this is your first part. There's one more part in this question, orbit. Find the distance AE when AC is 100 meter, right? So here they have already given this. देखो AC, we need to find out AC they have given as 100 meter, we need to find out AE, right? Now to get AE, that means this is H, right? This is given here. Which ratio are you going to use here? We can use here adjacent by hypotenuse, which is nothing but cos rule, right? So if I start doing, this is third part, second bit. How will you do it? Here, this is part B, right? So we will use here because 60 degree is the angle, right? You can take it here cos 60 equals to AE by AC. So this is actually the easier part here equals to, what is the adjacent here if I see AE by AC, right? AE by AC. C, right? Here AC is given as 100 meter. Correct? One more time you can cross check here. AC is given A by AC because AC is the hypotenuse. What is your cos 60? Cos 60 is half A. We didn't need to find out because when AC is 100, this is 100. So A is going to be here 50 meters. So this part is very easy to do the calculation here. So 1 mark for the writing the ratio and other thing, writing this and final answer will have 1 mark. Right, so I hope you got all these questions. This is all your whole 80 marks paper ends here. Make sure you try to finish your paper in max 2 hours 40-45 minutes. The last 15 minutes you can recheck your calculation. All the best for your exam, students. Thank you. Hope you got this.
Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe. Also, keep practicing.